Hey everyone, good evening. How you guys doing? I feel like I overcompensated there. Goodness, I just cannot get this color rate right. Hello, hey Shay, Heathen, how you guys doing today? Anglinator, how's everybody doing? Pete Excess Liver, that's funny. Shannon, how you doing? Mm. What was this? What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. How's it going? Secret Squirrel, what's going on? We're starting this thing a little early. Ugh. We're getting this thing started a little early today. That's not the right password. What am I doing over here? It's not even close to right. Why are you so close to the screen? Goodness gracious, that's scary. Dude, I don't know what it is. I think it's like I guess it's like a TikTok thing or something like that. But I'd be rolling by people's like lives and they are so close to the screen. Yar. That's cool. I haven't seen that one. That's cool. I want to reset my goal to that one. How do I hold on? How do I make that one my thing? Where is that? I don't know. I haven't seen that one before. Hold on, where's it at? I've never received that one before, and I don't know what it looks like. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Oh, that's so cool. Is that it? I think this one's it. FBI balls is great. FBI balls is awesome. How long have I been streaming on YouTube? Well, I guess May. I guess May would be the time that I like really started. I had attempted it a few times. I've had this account for like a couple years, but I never really tried to stream on it really. And then like I started trying in like April, I guess, and then May is when it actually started kind of working a bit. And so it's been pretty much full steam ahead since May. So I said June, July, August, June, July, August, September. So 4 months. Something. Do you remember? Do you remember? Don't worry. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Deanna, I'm glad you stumbled across me too. Josh, you were thinking about me? That's very sweet. What's going on, Whiskey Heathen? I see y'all over there. How y'all doing today? We're just getting this thing started, y'all. I know we're a little early today, but I do try to get in a little early on Thursdays. I'm late on Wednesday, so I try to get in a little early on Thursday. So we're just getting this thing spun up. I will say, like I said before, and I'm going to say it probably a few more times, probably today, probably over, the next however long. If you're watching me on TikTok and you have not already followed me on YouTube, then I don't know what you're doing. Okay? Because I have no idea what's happening on this app or how long it's going to be around. Or if I'm even going to want to be on it if it is around. All right? So just make sure you're everywhere. Y'all on YouTube are doing great. Yeah, you guys are on time. You guys are early. Like I said, we're just getting this thing started. I haven't even taken a call yet. I saw Deanna's comment. Why don't I see it over here? Is it delayed? Yeah. It is. I'm not on Twitch right now because that it's a me thing. It's a software issue that I'm having a hard time with. So I'm trying to get back up on it. But it was crashing one of my other lives yesterday. So I had to come off it for a little bit. So I plan on fixing that hopefully tomorrow. And yeah, go from there. So we'll see. Chargers 8 and 9. You do realize we're playing Jackson Dart this weekend, right? Just to be clear, you're claiming that the Chargers are going to go 8 and 9, and we play Jackson Dart this weekend. Go ahead and put some money on that one. See how that goes. Jeffrey says, "Do you ever have guests come on and take calls?" That's literally what this entire thing is about, Jeffrey. Actually, that's all. That is pretty much all we do on this show. We're just getting it started. we're just getting it going. That's all it is. That's all this show is we take calls and have conversations. Yeah. So stay tuned. Hang out for a bit. Where's Rupert? I actually have no idea where Rupert is. Sorry, I've been dealing with the other animals. Summer's been sick. Summer's been sick the last 2 days. And so I had to take her to the urgent care vet today. So we're kind of, we're being a little stressy right now. We're kind of getting things going. Y'all, if you guys are on the TikTok side, I'm waiting on y'all. Once we get that thing over 5,000, I can start taking guests and we can start getting this thing moving. For everybody else, welcome in. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are just getting this thing started. Pretty soon we're going to open up these phone lines and we are going to get things going back to our regularly scheduled program. Jeffrey, I don't know of a way to do that yet. Well, I mean, we did it once, but I haven't actually figured out a way on YouTube to actually do that, unless you do it through TikTok. But that's a whole other thing. So, yeah, she's been sick. She had, and like I said, Summer's like probably the most house trained dog ever. She never has accidents. She never messes up anything. She's so great. She's like the best dog ever. And she had accidents the last 2 nights, and then again while I was at work today. So I had to take her to the hospital. I hope it's just a little stomach bug or something, but yeah, she's not feeling great. Oh my goodness. Amber alert. Yeah, I got it. We're good. I see it. All right. Summer is 4. She'll be 5 in January. Yeah. So she will be 5 in January. See, it's doing that darkening thing again. Why is it doing that? Why does it look like all of a sudden I have no light? Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh, well. Anyways, let's get this thing going while I figure out why the heck my light just started like dimming over here. Yeah, I know. It did this the other day and and I thought I had it fixed, and all of a sudden now it's doing it again. It gets like really dark. All right. Well, there is one person who has called me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 times. One person has called me 29 times. I think someone says, I think it's Brad. Who's Brad? Sorry, make that 30. They just made it an even 30. All right, let's open up these phone lines. Let's get this thing going. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here. 30 times. 30 times, and I haven't even turned on the phone yet. Think about how much time you wasted doing that when I hadn't even turned. And you're not even the first person to call in. That's wild. Hello?
What up?
Hi, how old are you?
40.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, but why did you support someone that showered with his teenage daughter?
I didn't say I supported Biden.
Well, you would have had to if you don't like
I
Trump.
don't. No, I don't. I don't have to support anyone.
Then who'd you vote for in the 2020 election?
I'm sorry. What does that have to do with you still supporting Trump?
What does that have to do?
Sir, I'm asking you why you support the current president. Why are we talking about the...
Why?
Sir.
You guys support Biden.
I didn't say I supported Biden.
So who'd you vote for in the 2020 election?
I don't know. Who did I vote for in the 2020 election?
You tell me.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm asking you the question. Because you guys always want to berate Trump, even though you have no evidence of anything. You guys consistently say, oh, Trump must have
I don't have any evidence of anything?
Yeah, none.
He's a felon. I have the court documents and the evidence.
Okay, so if you take away the fact that the state cannot charge for the election crimes because they can only deal with time, place, and manner of an election.
They didn't charge him with an election crime.
How do they upgrade those misdemeanors to felonies?
You don't upgrade misdemeanors to felonies.
Those were misdemeanors. How do you not realize that?
You don't upgrade misdemeanors to felonies. There's no like upgrade thing. It's not like a software.
They were misdemeanors.
No, they still are misdemeanors unless you're doing them in furtherance of another crime.
Yeah, so what was the other crime?
There was actually 3 different crimes that were presented that have the availability.
And 2 of them dealt with the election, which
right, but again, there is a
federal election.
Sir, but the thing about furtherances of another crime, you don't even have to commit that crime.
But states can only deal with time, place, and manner of a federal election.
Sir, did you hear what I said? You don't even have to successfully commit that crime in furtherance of another crime.
Then how?
Yeah, all it has to be is that you committed the misdemeanor with an attempt, okay, to commit another crime. You don't even have to be convicted of the other crime. You just have to have enough proof to show that you did that crime trying to commit another crime. So that whole idea of, oh, they can't do anything on campaign finance has nothing to do with it whatsoever, because all it was showing was that there was an attempt to commit campaign finance laws. He doesn't even have to commit it. He could have been completely unsuccessful.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but that is ignorant.
Well, it's not what I'm trying to say.
Prosecuting.
No, that is the law in New York, actually. That's not what I'm trying to say. That is what the law is in New York.
But they're not allowed to deal with the federal election. How do you not get that? The state can only deal with time, place, and manner of any federal election.
Sir, I already explained that to you.
So, considering they cannot deal with the federal election other than time, place, and manner, and this is not time, place, and manner.
Sir.
Like,
I'm going to
why do
explain this
think
to you
the
for the
SEC
third
guy
time.
was not
Sir,
allowed to give
I'm going to explain this to you for the
his
third time.
interpretation of how the law is.
I'm going to explain this to you for the third time. Let's see if you can get it through your head this time, okay? They did not convict him of campaign finance laws. Okay? So your whole thing about like the state can't convict on campaign finance laws, they didn't. So it doesn't matter. Okay? Cool. You're saying they can't do it.
We don't know what the jury selected as the
It doesn't matter because again, you don't have to convict someone of the crime. They just have to do it with the attempt of that crime. So if they needed to convict him of that campaign finance law in order to do that, then maybe you're right. But they don't have to convict him of that campaign finance law because he doesn't even have to have committed that crime. Okay?
But if you wipe that from the jury, saying the jury doesn't have those to select from.
But they do have that to select because, again, you're not convicting them of that. And again, sir, even you said
he's done these other crimes to make these a felony.
No, not done these other crimes. Not done these other crimes. Attempted to do those other crimes.
But you can't even say attempted because it's still time, place, and manner only.
Sir,
it's a federal, not a state election.
Sir, you can convict someone. You can convict someone of sir. I'm not arguing with you about this because this is New York state law. Okay?
So then why is he with an unconditional discharge, no fine, no nothing?
Sir,
tell me a 34-count felon just walking the street.
Yeah, because he became president. That's why.
No, because if they didn't give him an unconditional discharge, he would have had a faster appeal to showcase it was political prosecution.
Sir, the judge said it was specifically because he became president.
Yes.
You act like, sir, you're arguing this as if we... The
same judge that also wouldn't let the FEC speak to the law.
Sir, you don't need someone to speak of the law. The judge is the law. That's their job, to interpret the law. Okay. And Donald Trump's not the first one to be convicted of this type of thing. It's happened multiple times well before Donald Trump. Okay.
At the federal level using federal,
it wasn't at the federal level.
And other
sir,
things
the law isn't
at election.
Sir, the law isn't at the federal level.
They were using FEC violations.
Oh my God.
They wouldn't even let the guy that used to work within the FEC to speak on it.
Sir, I'm sure that the interpretation of the federal law would have been really important if he was convicted on federal charges. Where was he convicted of a felony at? Was it federally or was it in the state of New York?
It was the state, but they were using
does the state of New York? No, I have to break this down because sir, be quiet. I'm tired of talking in circles with you. Okay, so I need you to listen so I can try to break this down like you're a 5-year-old. So maybe we can get on with this conversation. Okay. Cool. The New York state law does not require you to be convicted of the crime. So therefore, you don't need to reference federal law when it comes to furtherance of the other crime. Okay? That is not important in this situation at all. Again, the crime doesn't even have to be committed.
So they just go out willy-nilly saying that someone is guilty of felonies without actually committing the felony then.
They're not convicted of felonies for not committing the felonies. He's convicted of the felony of falsifying business records, which becomes a felony if you are trying to commit another crime while doing it.
Yeah, they literally politically prosecuted him. You guys
oh
can't
my God, you're too
that.
dumb to actually understand the law. Holy shit.
I do understand because the federal election is time, place, and manner.
The federal election, time, place, and manner has nothing to fucking do with this fucking situation.
They literally told you guys and you ate it up because vote blue no matter who.
Well, sir, you know what? I can read the law and I can read the court documents and I know that this is completely within the law. Just because you want to keep yelling time, place, manner over and over because you have...
The judge could have fined him. The judge could have delayed the sentence.
All right, now I'm muting you because I'm not going to let you sit here and cut me off with your stupidity, okay? So what I was saying was you can actually read the law whenever you want, okay? You can read the law whenever you want. You can read the court documents whenever you want. And you can read the freaking court documents where it talked about why he wasn't freaking fined or anything because of the law. You can read all of this stuff. If you want to sit here and leave whatever freaking, whatever interpretation that you want because you, instead of reading the court documents, you decide to read a Fox News website, that's fine, okay? But it literally has absolutely nothing to do with any of this, okay? So now I am going to unmute you, okay? Yeah, now I'm going to unmute you. Okay. And see if you can actually make an actual, real debater. So why do you still support Trump?
Because Trump is deal with immigration. Trump gave us better real wage growth to inflation than Biden. 42% of inflation.
And how did he do that?
The American Rescue Plan and other high spending bills.
Yeah, and how did he do that?
Wasteful spending bills.
Wasteful spending bills? That's not how you do something. That's just saying wasteful spending bills. How did he do that?
With the American Rescue Plan, where Larry Summers...
The American Rescue Plan is Joe Biden. How did Donald Trump give you real wage growth in comparison to inflation?
Oh, well, your Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in his first term.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is expired, and that was all the way through Biden's term. How has he done that in this term?
Well, he continued with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and then furthered it by increasing the standard deductions for the child tax credit, standard deductions for seniors, where over 85% of seniors
that doesn't affect real wage. That doesn't affect
have to pay any taxes.
That doesn't affect real wage growth. So, how did he affect real wage growth?
Keep more money in their pocket.
Yeah, a small minority of people that just had children may be able to do that, and people that are seniors, which again that doesn't exactly translate. But that doesn't. But again, people that have just had children are usually working, but people and their seniors aren't working at all. The whole point of that is that they're collecting Social Security, so they're not working. So that has nothing to do with real wage growth.
Yeah, but if he's
so, how did he raise real wage growth?
With the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act the first time.
Well, sir, again, if it was Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act went all the way through the Biden administration.
Yeah.
So therefore, if the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act gave relief to that in the Trump administration, then it obviously was the reason why inflation happened under the Biden administration, because the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act went through all of it.
No, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act did not cause inflation. That was partly because of your pandemic. The other reasoning was because 42% was due to his wasteful spending bills like the American Rescue Plan. Look it up.
Okay.
The MIT...
Yeah, I have looked it up and actually...
already said 42% was due to his bad spending bills.
All right, let's see that.
Larry
Where's
Summer
that?
even told him not to do it.
All right, awesome. Can you source that?
Yeah, I already told you, but if you weren't trying to be not so disingenuous,
no,
I would actually be multi-guest so I could show you the fucking article.
I can pull it up on the screen.
But
where's it at?
Yeah, it was. Hold up, give me 1 second. It was the MIT. Let me see. MIT's. It was an MIT business school that had stated it.
What did they state?
42%.
No, I heard your stat. What's the name of the article? I don't need you to keep repeating the stat. If the stat's there, I'll pull it up.
Hold on. Trying to find the exact article because I had the actual just screenshot of the 42%.
Of course you did.
Almost there. I get so much shit. MIT Management Sloan School. Federal spending was responsible for the 2022 spike in inflation, research shows. MIT Sloan.
In attempting to understand the 2022 spike in inflation, and let me actually put up what exactly he says on there, and since he could apparently refuses to actually read the entire article and just take little spots of it like he wants, which is I assumed what he was doing. Why can I not?
Does it not specifically say the results showed that 42% could be attributed to government spending?
Yes. In attempting to understand,
disingenuous, and that's why you guys don't multi-guest anymore.
In attempting to
why do you guys not multi-guest no more?
Sir, It's literally up on the screen for everyone to see. Why do I need a multi-guess to show you, for you to show what I'm showing?
Well, one, multi-guess would mean that
Sir,
people get
did
to
you
see
not
who the hell
say,
proves you wrong.
Sir, did you not?
Like, why don't you
sir,
like the
be
people
quiet.
seeing
Do you
who's
not want me to
proving you
read your
wrong on
article? Are you afraid of me reading your article?
I'm not afraid.
Okay, so you told me to
I'm
pull
just
up. No,
curious
no,
why you
no,
guys-
no. Be quiet. Did you not tell me to pull up MIT Sloan School of Management,
Yes.
right? Federal
Read the
spending
damn thing.
was responsible for the 2022 inflation. Cool. It says, in attempting to understand the 2022 spike in inflation, this is the first paragraph, by the way. In attempting to understand the 2022 spike in inflation that followed the pandemic, some policymakers, up to and including President Joe Biden, that means Donald Trump's, blame shortages in the supply chain, but news shows that federal spending was the cause, and significantly so. Our research shows that mathematically the overwhelming driver of the burst of inflation in 2022 was federal spending, not just supply chains. See, the problem with your context is not, it doesn't say that Biden's spending caused inflation. It says that policymaking up to and also Biden's spending caused inflation. And we know this because literally in the debate that Donald Trump had against Joe Biden, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley came up and said, hey, oh, he left. Oh, he left. Where'd he go? Yeah, because Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley specifically told them, oh, yeah, Donald Trump's reckless spending when it came to COVID is going to cause inflation. And that's actually what this study shows. It says 42% of inflation could be attributed to government spending. It doesn't say government spending from the Biden administration. It says government spending. Huh. It's crazy how when you actually read the whole article instead of just trying to pick out little spots, how quickly you fall apart. Anyways, we had a runner to start this day out. I'm really already happy. Y'all make sure you guys, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. If you'd like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. I also have super chats open, and please consider becoming a subscribe, a super fan, or a member. That is a great way to support the live, and it does help me to keep doing this every day. That's really a huge help and support. So I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna open up these phone lines, move on to the next person. I love having a runner to start the day. I love having a runner to start the day. That's my favorite. Especially when I get to do it by proving someone wrong with their own source. So I love it when I get to prove someone wrong with their own source. Oh, have I already dog walked everybody out of? I think that last caller must have scared everyone. Now no one's even calling in. That's funny. I guess that was the best they had for the day.
It's insane.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, finally, Jesus Christ. What's up, man?
Finally, you just called in.
Yeah, that's true.
You haven't even
So what's
called
happening
prior. What do you mean finally? You called one time.
Really?
Jesus, how old are you?
I'm old enough. Older than 18, that's for sure.
All right, cool. So how old are you?
Older than 18.
I didn't ask you if how old are you older than 19?
Yeah, I'm older than 19.
Are you
as well.
older than 20?
Yeah.
Are you older than 21?
Yeah.
Are you older than... We're just going to keep doing this until you tell me which one you're not older than, and then you tell me your age. We can make this easier.
Oh, well, then I'm
Are
older. I'm older.
Are you
enough
older than
to talk
22?
on your show. How about that?
Are you older than 22?
Let's just say I'm 22. How about that?
Well, are you 22?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you. Have a good day. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Badman Games, thank you so much for the $2
insane.
super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And K Ann says, phone lines are back open. I appreciate it. K Ann says, Aaron Aranda is a moron. I don't know who Aaron Aranda is, but yeah. Fuck that guy. I don't know who he is. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yes. Are you doing a live thing, or did I dial the wrong number?
How old are you?
I'm 59.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do not actually, but I do know that he's doing some beneficial things for this country, like fucking it up so that we don't vote for him again. But
well,
but
I do
also,
appreciate that, but I'm only looking for Trump supporters right now. All right, I do appreciate that, so I can get some conversation in. But I hope you have a good day. All right.
yep.
All right. All right, we're gonna reopen up the lines, keep this thing going. Jesus Christ, these people do not like Aaron Aranda. Holy crap! Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hey, hello. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Hello?
Hi, can you please turn off the live in the background? That is very annoying. Guys, if you call in, turn off the live. It causes an echo.
It's still on. Is it off?
All right, there you go. How old are you?
43.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I'm not on everything, but I would, considering all the Democrats we've had in the past.
All the
Kamala,
Democrats in the
especially.
past? What have the Democrats in the past done that's
It's
so bad?
all this pride everywhere, this stuff in the schools, the stuff on YouTube. Like, this is ridiculous.
All the pride everywhere.
But
Don't you want us to have pride? I have pride.
in what?
In whatever. You just said pride. I don't know.
Well, I don't find pride in people talking about sexuality to kids.
Okay. Who's talking about
On
sexuality
YouTube
to kids?
On YouTube Kids, they've got drag shows. They've got,
How is
it can be
dressing in
anything hour,
how is dressing in drag sexual?
because it's not just drag. When you go into
Well,
the
that's what you
videos,
said,
it's supposed to
sir.
be on
You
YouTube
said
Kids.
you said drag. Well, how is drag sexual?
It's insane.
Well, because that was the drag show is what like exposes it. They part it out there as this drag show, kids dressed, explorative, whatever they're trying to teach them and everything else.
Sir, this is starting
about
to
the drag
sound
culture
like
and all that.
real closeted, dude.
Huh?
This is starting to sound real closeted.
Real what?
Closeted?
Closeted, as in, is that transphobic?
No, it just sounds like you got like a lot of like repressed feelings that you need to deal with.
No, I don't like all this stuff I see. You got,
Bro, do you have
people
kids?
telling these kids there's 100 genders. Ketanji Brown Jackson can't even say what a man is, what a woman is.
What are you talking about? There is
some women are born with.
There's way more than 100 genders. What are you talking about?
There's only 2 genders.
According to who?
That's the issue. Like,
According to who?
people have.
According
bunch of
to who?
personalities. According to what do you mean?
You said
Nature.
there's only 2 genders. According to who?
Since the beginning of time.
Really?
Y'all came up with this concept.
Are you familiar with the
that
Talmud?
Gender, y'all separated. Look,
Sir, are you familiar with the Talmud?
the who?
The Talmud.
No, what is that?
Oh, it's part of the Jewish religion. It's the basis for the Old Testament and Christianity. Are you Christian by any chance?
No,
Okay.
agnostic.
Okay, awesome. Well, you do realize that that's a very, like old book, right? Like whether you believe it or not, it was written a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. How many like genders does Judaism recognize?
I don't know about their faith. I don't go into that. I don't
It's the
base
number
my
the number
principles
the
off of
number
that.
is the number is 8. Okay. They
8.
recognize 8 different genders. All right.
And what are they?
And that
what are their genders?
I don't
is-
know
hold
them
on,
off the
what is
top of
a
my head. I
gender?
could pull them up for you if you
What
like.
is a gender? Let's define terms.
Sir,
then.
I was in the middle of a sentence. Yeah.
That's,
Awesome.
That's
Thanks.
democratic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is democratic
Please,
to let
sir,
somebody
please,
speak
sir,
and
I'm talking. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm talking. That's what y'all do. Can y'all not do that? Say,
yes,
hey,
I would like to talk
get my
without being
point
cut
across?
off by a child. So may I finish my sentence now?
I'm not a child.
Well, you're acting like one. So
That's all y'all can do. Liberals, when you go to get into, y'all start name calling.
all right, I'll
I
just
haven't
mute
said
you. It's not a
one
problem. So,
disrespectful-
anyways, what I was saying is obviously the Talmud being a very old book and having 8 genders that are in Judaism shows that people being, different genders and having more than 2 genders is very, very old, much older than you or I or most of our genealogies, thousands and thousands of years old. We have documentation from the Mayans and the Ottomans talking about multiple genders and people that, that we're associating with different genders. So no, it's actually, sir, having more than 2 genders is not the old thing, it's the new thing. You're the new thing, right? You're the one that is actually trying to push this narrative that hasn't existed for most of time.
when have all these genders existed in society, in population? When was the push for the, I don't know, what demigod and the whatever else they call them? It's like too many to even count. Most of them can't even tell you what they mean.
I don't need to tell you what most of them mean.
That's crazy.
Sir, why would I need to tell you what sir,
us
why
to
would I
respect
sir,
it.
why would I need to tell you what most genders mean?
Because if
How
you
is
wanna
that beneficial
validate
to my
them-
life?
Can I answer the question?
Sure.
You just got mad at me about cutting you off.
Please stop
And
whining,
then
sir,
you
and
want to
answer the
belittle me,
question.
berate me. I haven't done nothing disrespectful.
Please
to you.
stop whining, sir. I do have a live to run.
Oh, this bitch right here. Oh man, that's the same with. That's why people don't call you,
Sir. Last
Ain't no
chance
talking
to
truth to y'all.
last chance to either answer the question. If you keep whining, I will just move on to the next person. I am trying to run a live here, and you are being very boring and ignorant.
You're a bitch. I hope everybody sees this. You're trash. You're terrible. It's crazy.
Sir, if
You're a
you
joke.
didn't have a father who loved you, just say that, okay?
See, there you go to the name calling. This is why nobody.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next person because I am not gonna sit there and listen to this man whine anymore. Jesus Christ. Hello, how are you?
Hey, hello. How you doing? I'm doing great. How old are you?
All right, I'm gonna hang up again. If you are going to call in, turn off the live. Hello, how are you?
You fucking rage baiting fucking loser troll. Get a fucking
Man,
life,
these
you fucking
crybabies
faggot.
are out hard today. Is it a Thursday? Is that Thursday? Is Thursday MAGA crybaby wine night? Hello, how are you?
It's insane.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
Awesome. How old are you?
15.
Awesome. Sorry, you can't be got to be a little older to be on the live. I do appreciate you though. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
What do you think about the big beautiful bill that just got passed?
I mean, I guess it's really great if you like, bad stuff. If you don't like people having health care, if you like, want to have prices raised, if you want to, give giant giant corporations huge tax cuts at the expense of the lower and middle classes.
Okay. What do you think about like the funding going towards like the military and border control?
Well, as far as military is concerned, every appropriations bill for the last, since Clinton, I think, raised the military budget. So, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think the Congress has just kind of come to an agreement that we're going to raise the military budget every year. So that doesn't really mean anything to me whatsoever. As far as raising the cost of for money for immigration, I think that putting money towards immigration is a good thing, right? The Biden administration tried multiple times to put a bunch more money towards immigration. The Republicans blocked it. I think it's a little disingenuous that when Biden tries to put money towards the exact same things, they block it, and when Trump does it, they go full throat on it. But in my opinion, we can have good money going towards immigration and having a secure border without making ICE the largest law enforcement agency on the planet.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Are you like worried like that majority of Americans that really need healthcare are going to lose it, or is it just going to be where like have to actually pay probably a larger amount to actually have healthcare?
Well, it's actually both, right? It's actually both. So, first of all, the cost of our healthcare in this country is already extraordinarily high, right? But then when you add in things like the Big Beautiful Bill, where there's estimations anywhere from 10 to 17 million people are going to be losing their healthcare, when they do end up in emergency situations, they are going to end up in emergency rooms and stuff like that. The hospitals then have to eat the cost of that, so insurance companies have to eat the cost of that. So therefore, it's going to double and triple insurance costs, right, for everyday Americans.
Yeah.
By passing this bill. So not only are a bunch of people going to lose it, but then, situations are going to get worse because we don't have things like preventative health care. And then to add on top of that, most people's insurance rates are going to go up and all sorts of stuff. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump in certain, I'm not like a full hard support Trump in everything. I think a lot of the things that he has done definitely helps with like the border control. and how he's trying to cut taxes. I also disagree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Well, let's
I'm
just
worried.
address the things that you like that he's doing. Who's he cut taxes for?
Well, sorry, say that one more time.
Who has he cut taxes for?
I'm not 100% sure. I just know that he has cut taxes in the U.S.
Yeah, so he cut taxes in 2017. You know, it would gave 1 to 2% tax cut to the middle class, right, on average, right, which is almost nothing, while giving a 14% tax cuts to major corporations. So Amazon saves billions, while the average person saves about $600. Okay, and Kamala Harris already had announced in her plan that she was going to keep the middle class taxes exactly the same as they were under Donald Trump, except for Donald Trump just did the exact same thing. He kept taxes at the exact same rate. He didn't lower them again. And then he gave another tax cuts to corporations. So Amazon, again, got a huge tax cut while your taxes stayed exactly the same. How is that good?
That's a good question. I guess as long as the majority of the people's taxes didn't go up, it would be okay.
The problem is that the majority of people's taxes did go up. They just changed the tax, right? So instead of making it an income tax and kept that the same, what he started doing was charging tariffs, which is in essence a sales tax, right? It's an import tax on all goods. So now every time that we get anything from overseas, the US consumer, which the import tax is carried over to, now has to, you know, pay the cost of that tax. So the middle and lower classes are paying that exorbitant tax, right? They are paying more. It's just in a different manner.
Oh, okay. So it's more of like when we actually go get produce that have been overseas, the taxes will be higher?
Yeah, depending on the produce, sure.
Okay. Well, no, that's a hard debate because it could be good and bad, because I know a lot of the taxes that we do pay as citizens go towards a lot of our I guess like education, goes towards construction, city work, stuff like that. But it's also like, do our taxes actually go towards that? We don't know.
Well, we do know, because under the Biden administration, they had the largest infrastructure bill in American history, a $1 trillion infrastructure bill, where our tax dollars were literally going to all those things that you're talking about. Where under the Trump administration, those taxes are not going to that. They're actually going to corporations. That money that you're now paying is now going into Amazon's pocket, because now they don't have to pay it.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I think you really need to look into why you support Trump, because it doesn't really sound like you really do. I think you just need to have a little more education. So I hope that you stick around and listen. I'm going to move on to the next caller, all right?
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good day. All right, we're going to move on to the next person. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. Jeffrey, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, MAGA, stop worrying about gender and genitalia. They are incredibly worried about genitalia, specifically male genitalia. They talk like so much about male genitalia. It is wild. And KN right behind that. Why are Republicans always talking about wieners? Bro, always. Just always talking about wieners, dude. It is so strange. And Badman Games, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I will tip as long as you shut down Trumpers. Well, I can't help but to do that. So anyways, hello, Howard. Thank you so much for the donations. I appreciate that, y'all. Hello, how are you?
Good. You?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you? How old are you?
18.
What year are you born?
Insane.
2007.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
I don't support people who kill fathers and hate families.
Who kill fathers and hate families. Is that what you said?
I'm talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Okay. What about the assassination of Melissa Hortman? What about the
Charlie
attempted,
Kirk.
sir? What about the attempted assassination of Josh Shapiro?
Who's that?
What about the attempted assassination of Nancy Pelosi?
Don't know who that is either.
Oh, okay, cool. So when Republicans do it, you have no idea who they are, but when it happens to Charlie Kirk, you know exactly who it was.
No, it's because I just now started getting involved in politics.
Okay, well, you should actually look at the assassination of Melissa Hortman, who was a Democratic lawmaker in Minnesota who was gunned down by a known Republican and Trump supporter. You can look at Josh Shapiro, who's the governor of Pennsylvania, whose house was burnt down and when an attempted assassination against him by a known Republican and Trump supporter. You can look at the person who attempted to assassinate Nancy Pelosi and ended up cracking her husband's skull open with a hammer. Okay, an attempted assassination of her, who was again a Republican. But see, when that happens to you, when the Republicans do that and Trump supporters do that, the left doesn't come out and say all of MAGA is a bad person or we don't support, the people on the right because they're all bad or that they're all creating this thing. We blame the person because the person is the problem. It is only the right who tries to blame an entire freaking side of people or an entire group of people based off of one person's actions. And while that person's actions is absolutely disgusting and fucking horrible, what's also pretty bad is when you just start blaming the entire left for the actions of one person when the left has not done that to you.
Okay, that's my apologies. Another thing that bothers me is when people celebrate it.
That bothers me also.
I mean, let's take a look for a second. Every assassination in the United States history had to do with the freedom of speech and someone not agreeing with it. I mean,
Sir, the right made fun of Nancy Pelosi's husband for a very, very long time after that assassination. The president of the United States, the president of the United States,
talking about left and right.
Yeah, but the president of the United States, literally the president, not anybody else, okay, was asked to call the Minnesota governor to give condolences for Melissa Hortman's death, okay, and said there's no reason for him to even call and to even mention anything, okay? You are 100% right. It is 100% wrong to celebrate anyone's assassination. That is wrong. Political violence is wrong. Okay? But I think that's something that we all agree on. That has nothing to do with supporting Trump. That has nothing to do with supporting Trump at all. That's what we should be as human beings.
Yes, that's fair. See, we found a common ground here.
But we haven't found a common ground, sir, because Donald Trump is the one that is spreading the rhetoric about the left. Like he calls the left domestic terrorists. He's the one who won't reach out when there's a political assassination for somebody that he doesn't agree with. Okay, he is the one that is putting that divisiveness in the situation. Every Democratic freaking lawmaker that I freaking follow or know, the second anything happened to Charlie Kirk was immediately condemning it and wishing condolences on his family. Every single fucking one.
The reason why, this is just what I think, but the reason why I think that Donald Trump doesn't reach out is because he personally never had anything to do with it. Like, has Donald Trump ever hired a hitman to kill a Democrat?
No, not that I know of.
Exactly. Like,
so what?
That's why he.
Sir, I've never met Charlie Kirk.
Hey, I'm sorry that someone tried to kill you. It's because he personally never had anything to do with it.
So what?
With Charlie Kirk, what I had to do with it was in my home state.
Okay, sir, he is the president of the United States, and political violence is happening against people in his country. People are being assassinated for their words, for their political beliefs in his country, and he is going to decide to, for one side, for one person, not even give a phone call, and for the other side, put flags at half-staff.
Make a fair point.
Why is the president of the United States not condemning political violence across the board?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
Because he wants
noticed,
to divide. Because he wants to put a wedge. He wants there to be disruption. He wants that, okay? He wants people to freaking go after each other instead of reaching across the aisle and actually finding common denominators with each other. Like you and I can sit here right? And talk about how bad political violence is on both sides. Trump doesn't want that. Okay? He wants us to hate each other. That's what he wants. And when you come up here and immediately like, I don't support people that freaking do this. Just like you said that Donald Trump has never hired a hitman as far as I know. Okay? I also have no idea. I'm on the left. I don't know this person that did this to Charlie Kirk. I mean, besides, what I've seen in the news. I don't know him. So why are you saying you don't support all of the left because of one person?
It's because I don't pay attention to the left that often. I also don't pay attention to, or I didn't pay attention to politics until I heard of Charlie Kirk. So, yeah.
Okay, well, Charlie Kirk was very, very good at galvanizing young men. Okay, that is literally how he pretty much helped Donald Trump win the election, by galvanizing young men. Okay, that's what his job was. All right.
Charlie Kirk was a good man.
I'm glad that you believe that.
The reason why I say this is because he was a follower of God. He patriotic, and he had a family who he treated with respect and care of the highest degree.
So was the person that got shot behind Donald Trump. And no one said a word about him and his family.
Are you talking about the attempted assassination of Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm. There's tons of people that have claimed to be Christians and have had families that they treated right. Doesn't make them good people, right?
Yeah. But the only thing that Charlie Kirk did wrong, apparently, is he used his freedom of speech.
Sure. I don't know what you're even having a conversation about. His assassination was wrong. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the guy was something that he wasn't. Okay. Charlie Kirk very, very often spread very very racist, very anti-freaking trans, anti-community, anti-black, sexist comments. Okay. And he said a lot of them. Okay. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he didn't because he's passed. I don't believe that he should have been assassinated at all. I wish I could have had a conversation with him. I would have loved to debate him. Okay. But glazing this person as if he didn't do all of that stuff is ridiculous. And I won't sit here and do it.
So what, he made a mistake? So did everyone.
Sir, I didn't say anything about making mistakes. Again, I've already said very clearly that I don't think he should have been assassinated. I think that it was wrong. And I hope that the person that did it to him is put under the jail. But I'm not going to sit here and play this game like, oh, he was just the best of persons. Like, it sounds like that. You know what it sounds like? You ever watch, the First 48?
Say it again?
Probably not. You're probably too young to watch the First 48. Okay. You're probably way too young for that. All right. But it's a show about freaking, like they investigate murders and whatever. And no matter who the person was, right? No matter who the person was, all right, they were always the best person that ever existed. They've never done anything wrong. They were just the most beautiful person. They were the greatest kid. And then you find out about them. You're like, no, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, he passed. Let's just sit there. You know what I will say is beautiful? This is what I will say is beautiful. I listened to Erica Kirk's speech at his memorial. Okay? That is what actual like Christianity should sound like. Okay? Where she did not try to blame anyone, where she did not try to blame the left or try to make it this whole thing, where she said that she forgave his assassin. Okay? That is what true Christianity is like. Let's just leave it at that and move on, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a good one, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye. Dude, I don't care if Erica Kirk read that off a teleprompter because it was written for her. I couldn't give a shit. Okay? What she did, okay, was important. Okay? Regardless of whether you believe her, regardless of whether you think it was coached or staged or whatever, okay? It is important that she did that. Period. Period. Fake, even if it was completely fake, it is better because you know what the alternative to that? It's what people like Stephen Miller and Donald Trump said. You can disagree with me all you fucking want. You have Donald Trump up there saying he hates his enemies and he wishes violence on them. You have freaking Stephen Miller going up there wishing violence on the left. And you know what she didn't do? That. Trust me. The wrong part was freaking selling merch as his memorial. That really says a lot right there. Okay? That was really weird. But I'm sorry. At least it wasn't divisive. At least it was actually not divisive. And that's all I'll say. Straight up. Daniel, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said Ronald Reagan tricked people into thinking trickle-down economics would work. Give corps the money, they give some to the poor. Profit margins are bipartisan. Yeah, Reagan really fucked us when it came to that shit. And every single time that it's been tried since then, it's been really bad. What? I'm not putting that up there, Daniel. You're being weird. I thought there was another super chat in there. Maybe I missed it. Anyways, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. We're going to move on to the next caller. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you hit that follow button and that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hello, how are you? Tara, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Big W's the chat for Tara. So there's not a whole lot that I haven't said before, but you are a wonderful human being, and I thank you for everything you've come here to do. Continue to be a good person that you are. Thank you so much, Tara, for the big $50 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is very, very sweet of you. Thank you so, so much. That was very, very, very sweet. Big W's to chat for Tara. All right, let's open up these phone lines, keep this thing going. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Haven't seen any new members today, though. That's weird. Love to see a couple new members today. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Hey, I had a question.
How old are you?
I am 43 years old.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. What's your question?
My question is, I just heard you say that Charlie Kirk said a bunch of racist things, and I'm
not interested.
Name me one.
I'm not interested.
You're not interested in naming one thing he said?
No, I'm not interested in talking about Charlie Kirk.
Well, you just did, so I figured.
I know, and I'm done with it. Thank you.
Oh, well, what would you like to talk about then?
I don't know. I'll just go talk to somebody else. Not a big deal.
No, well, that sounds like cowardice, but that makes sense.
I'm so scared. Okay.
I'm not
Bye.
trying to make.
Hello, how are you? Hey, I'm good. By the way, I just want to say something. My friend told me to call this number, so I don't know
All right.
this number is.
All right,
Is
cool,
this
man.
a debate?
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are yourself?
I'm doing good. How old are you?
68.
No, you're not. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Say
So,
potato.
Funny story.
Say
I actually
potato.
called you yesterday and you mistook me for the AI girl.
You still sound like AI. That's why I said say potato. That's why I said
sorry,
that.
I'm not.
You sound like it's AI lady, dude. It's 100% AI lady. I could tell the second that she said that.
It's not. I'm an entirely different person. Sorry to disappoint you.
You're not AI lady?
No. I do remember you looking for her though, and
Oh, you were
actually
the girl
hung
that
up with-
called when I was looking for AI
Yes.
lady. I couldn't
Yes.
tell. Yeah,
And
I remember you.
You asked me if I was her, and I was like, no, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but feel free to hang up so you can keep looking for her. And then she got like right back with you.
That was
2
funny.
seconds later.
So this is
It was
AI girl
hilarious.
number 2. That's what this is.
I'm
This is
not
AI girl
AI.
number 2. All right. Anyways, do you still support Trump?
No, but I have a lot of family that does, so I'm intimately familiar with their lovely mindset. I was calling because I want to pick your brain about one specific topic that I can never really get anyone to give me a concise answer about. And you
All
seem...
right. Well, we'll
Okay.
ask it. I do want to move on to Trump supporters, so go ahead and ask it. I'll try to give you a concise answer, and then we'll move on, okay?
Birthright citizenship. Are you pro or against?
Oh, pro, of course. It's
Okay,
constitutional. What are you
so-
talking about? Like, if you're born here, you're an American. Period. End dot.
I will never argue that it is in the Constitution. Absolutely, it is. So it's a fact. It should never be argued.
It's in the Constitution. It's frickin'.
but if we
It's
were,
upheld by the Supreme Court.
Yes, but if they were going to ratify it and change that, would you be pro or against it?
I would still be. I want it to stay exactly the way it stays right now.
Really?
Yep.
See, I don't know if I can agree with that. Mostly because other countries don't have birthright citizenship the same way that we do.
Lots of countries
So
don't have a whole lot of stuff that we don't have.
That's true. Like, we don't have universal health care, and they do. But
Yeah, most countries don't put people into freaking debt for medical care. Most people don't have to have their kids going through active shooter drills at their schools. Most
this is
other
true.
countries are a lot different than ours. Okay.
This is very true.
But
I'm
also-
just kind
go
of
ahead.
I'm of the opinion that I shouldn't be able to go, like, say I take a trip to another country. I shouldn't be able to give birth there and my child get citizenship just because they so happen to be born on a foreign soil. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. And I don't know why we're so adamant that should be the case here in America. Nothing to do with hating foreigners and so-called illegal immigrants. Fucking who
Well,
the
if
fuck
that's the
cares?
case, then why are you an American citizen?
Technically, under that logic, I probably wouldn't be because I was not born on American soil, but Army base. So yeah.
I mean, even then, say you were born, say your parents were in the United States and they were stationed here. What would make you an American citizen?
Yeah, see, that's where the conversation gets complicated, and I feel like we'd have to really sit down and hammer out, all right, what are the rules? Do we start this from the get-go? Do we say, all right, going back 50 years? But personally, I think it would just be starting from, I don't know, say year 2026. If you have two parents that were born in America and are American citizens, then you are a citizen. If you have one, then you are.
Yeah,
But
the
if
reason
you're-
why other
you're not.
countries don't have this is because other countries aren't nations of immigrants.
Well, yes and no. I think it depends on the country. Certain countries are becoming more and more filled with immigrants as time goes on because they offer better support than we do, like Australia.
It's insane.
But that also comes with its own issues because then they get overrun with a lot of immigrants and then housing, and it's all a big clusterfuck. So, like I said, I don't think it's a black and white issue. I personally would probably be for ratifying it, but not to the fucking degree that our country is.
Well, those are definitely discussions that we would have if we ever made a constitutional amendment, which we have to do, in which we have to deal with that. And then I'm sure the states and everybody else could come up with some type of agreement in which we could do that. But as of right now, we are still falling underneath the Constitution. The Constitution says that birthright citizenship is legal, and getting rid of it is not going to fix the problem. We would actually have to change it if that was what American people wanted, and we're nowhere near coming to any type of constitutional convention right now. That's for damn
Correct.
sure.
Change it legally. Legally. Key word here. Legally. Change it legally, not just making an
Man,
executive order.
there's tons of stuff in our Constitution I would love to change legally. Okay. There's tons of it. All right. But yeah, we're not there. But anyways, did you pick my brain well enough?
I did.
All
You
right.
gave me some things to think about. I hope you have some things to think about, and I hope whoever you talk to next is willing to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Have a good day, all right?
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye. What is Daniel talking about? Daniel, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It says, if you are certified mentally ill, you forfeit your Second Amendment. Biden allowed them into the military and run whole divisions. Pete Hegseth made that illegal again very recently. Daniel, are you making the claim that Pete Hegseth
It's insane.
was putting mentally ill people in charge of divisions? Daniel. Thank you for the $10, Daniel. So weird. Daniel again said lefty don't want have real conversations or read opinions opposing his to prove me wrong. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate that. Daniel also says, America is America. Profound. Immigrants need to assimilate and fly the American flag. Minnesota is lost to the Karen. All right. Well, thank you, Daniel.
It's insane.
For that $5 super chat. I very much appreciate that. Gene, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, has any mass shooting committed by a black man? I think there are a few. They're rare, but it does happen every once in a while. But it is rare. It is rare every once in a while. And Feisty, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I'll just let you read what Feisty has to say. Thank you so much, Feisty, for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Feisty for the 5 gifted. Also, make sure you send an extra little W in the chat if you got one of those 5 gifted from Taurus. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm going to throw Feisty's back up for a sec. All right, now we're going to move on to the next caller. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you all for being here, even Daniel. I appreciate everyone for being here, even Daniel. Okay. Sorry. G Stone says Minnesota is ours, Daniel. Allah Akbar. So I had to throw that out while we're talking about Daniel. Thank you so much, G Stone. I really, really appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I am good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 22 years old, my man.
You say 23?
22.
22. Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do. Every day.
All right. Well, I just got a new notification. I was just curious what you think about it. You cool with that?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right. It says Trump announces a 25% tariff on trucks and a 30% tariff on furniture.
Okay.
Yeah. So in our trucking industry right now, which is having a really rough time, how do you feel about the fact that, owners of trucks are now going to have a harder time buying trucks in order to transport our materials, which is also going to actually, not only make it more difficult on truckers, but more difficult for us to actually move things like furniture?
Honestly, I feel like it's all part of, I believe God is talking to Trump through him. I believe it's the way God is speaking to Trump. He's
God came down from heaven and he was like, you will put tariffs on rocking chairs.
It's all part of God's plan. Yeah. You got to think about the future.
I'm pretty sure that's in Revelation someplace, actually, where it's like in the end days.
Could you pull up the verse for me?
We will have tariffs on furniture. I can't remember the exact verse. I think it's like chapter 2. Tariffs on furniture will come in the last days. Amen.
But God moves in miraculous ways, good man. I don't think you understand that.
It says mysterious ways, but not miraculous.
He works in miraculous ways, is what I'm telling you. He works in miracles, even though we might not see the vision quite yet.
This would have to be a miracle. This would.
He is just a reincarnated. He is just another beautiful version that God has sent down, a disciple, just like Charlie was.
Okay. Well, doesn't sound like this conversation is going to have any even inkling of intelligence.
Well, clearly, you are clearly wrong then. See, you have no proof.
Oh, I have proof.
Is clearly.
I have.
You haven't proven anything.
Yeah, no, I've proven that there isn't any IQ left for this conversation. So,
are you a religious man, my good sir?
Yes, I am. Hail Satan.
Wow. What do you think about the Lord died for our sins?
What do I think about Satan?
About the Lord.
He's pretty
died
cool.
for our sins.
Satan is the Lord. Hail Satan. Can I get 666 in the chat?
Understand.
Can I get 666 in the chat? Hail Satan.
Lord,
Satan, come down from the
he has stopped so many wars. He has alliance with
save this
Russia,
man.
And he's stopping China from taking over our country. I don't think you understand how beautiful the things he is doing.
Yes, Jesus, the very known American. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move on because I need to keep what brain cells I have left in case somebody comes up that actually wants to challenge those. Daniel just says G-Stone knows what I mean. So apparently G-Stone and Daniel are having a fight over Minnesota. Thank you guys so much for the 666 in the chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Fair Chase, thank you so much for the 99 cent super chat. And Tears and Rain, thank you so much for the jewels. I really appreciate that also. Thank you so much. Also, I do have the little corky goal if anybody would like to help me hit that. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
Great. I'm 28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do indeed.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
I just think he's doing good these days. I think he had that speech with the United Nations where he told them how they're screwing up Western civilization.
I came to the UN and I didn't get anything from the UN. All I got from the UN was a broken escalator. It didn't even go up for me. It's a good thing that Melania is in shape. Melania is in the best of shape. She has a yoga instructor, which she takes special time with in order to be able to walk up the escalator. And you guys gave me this, and you gave me a broken teleprompter, which I can't even give this speech because I don't have a teleprompter. This is why I don't like the UN.
We ain't talking about that. We're talking about the topics that he brought up.
That is literally what he brought up at the UN. I literally was just about quoted his speech.
Really? You think Kamala Harris would have brought up how they're destroying the West with immigration and they're burying the culture?
Do you think she would have brought up a broken escalator and a broken teleprompter?
Who cares about that?
I do, because it's embarrassing for the United States. I care about that because literally the president of the United States going 4 times his allotted speech time to ramble about an escalator is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree, but the policies are what's right.
Okay, which policy? Which UN policy are you a big fan of?
Just, I'm a fan of the local policies too, the domestic ones.
Yeah, you're a favor of the domestic UN policies. Did I get that correct?
No, Trump's domestic policy as well.
Okay, we were in the middle of talking about the UN, and last time I checked, there isn't a domestic UN policy. So I was just really curious how we got to domestic policy when we were like super very clearly talking about the UN.
Well, I don't agree with everything that he's saying, but I agree with how they're destroying the West for sure.
And how is the UN destroying the West?
The left also has been indoctrinating.
Sir, how is the UN destroying the left? Or destroying the West? I apologize. I misspoke.
Because they're allowing floods of immigrants through open borders. And
Sir,
these dudes didn't even fight in the world. These dudes didn't even fight in World War II to like actually like to like actually
insane.
have roots in these lands to be saying this kind of stuff, to be honest with you.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
If I'm being completely honest with you, like a lot of the dudes are being pushed to the sides, and these are the dudes whose grandfathers fought to be freeing the slaves.
First of all, let's just do a quick pause.
That's crazy.
First of all, the UN doesn't decide U.S. immigration law. That would be insane. Okay. Second of all, okay, the UN was created out of World War II. There was no UN during World War II. So you're right. The UN didn't fight in World War II because it didn't exist yet.
No, the immigrants didn't fight in World War II. They came after.
No, they weren't born yet.
Yeah. No. Nope.
Yeah, the immigrants that are coming over here now would not have been of fighting age in 1945.
They were in third world countries, not in these homeland countries that defeated.
Not in these homeland countries?
Yep. That the dudes are trying to immigrate to.
Huh?
So I'm saying the same people's ancestors that beat the Confederates and beat the Nazis are the same dudes now that are being called white supremacists and all this stuff. And
you
actually being
do realize people from the South also fought in World War II, right?
Yeah.
You know who didn't fight? You know who didn't get? You know who didn't get much of a chance to fight in World War II?
The immigrants.
No, black people.
Yeah.
Because the military was racist.
Really good.
Yes,
No,
in very limited
part of the
amounts.
101st
You are
Airborne
correct,
Unit.
and that's why I
None of
said not wholly. Yeah.
No, they were special ops troopers. Yep.
Well, like you can look at like the Tuskegee Airmen, people that were literally banned to a singular
dude,
base for
you don't
training
know.
because they had to be segregated from the rest of the military because they couldn't fly with them. How they were given
They had their own
substandard
unit.
equipment until they had to prove how much better fighter pilots they actually were than their white counterparts, and then they were actually given
false.
upgraded like P-51 Mustangs and stuff like that,
Standard
or the
Okay,
bomber
sorry.
pilots that actually came after the Tuskegee Airmen, you know, and
I
after
get
the
to just
fighter
talk
pilots
over
find that
everybody.
no, I'm just talking and you're trying to cut me
Insane.
off, and I'm not letting you because I actually
Well,
really
listen,
do like this. Okay, this subject. So like the bomber pilots that actually came after the Tuskegee Airmen, right, who weren't allowed to actually train at any type of bomber wings because bomber wings were still segregated. Right. And they wouldn't allow black pilots to come in there. So actually they shipped them over to Tuskegee, Alabama also so that they would train, but they didn't actually have the jets, which was actually the first implementation of actually a non-segregated school. So when you're saying the people that fought in World War II are called racist, it's because a lot of them literally fucking were, and the entire institution of the military was.
No, they fought to free those dudes and give them rights. That's where you don't know your history.
So you're saying that the segregated military in World War II fought to give black people rights?
they were still part of the military. They were
It's
segregated in their own
insane.
units, so that way they can work more efficiently with amongst their own people. That's
So
how the
you're the
military works.
racist. All right, gotcha. I was confused. Sorry. I was trying to figure out like where like you fit into this conversation. I didn't realize that you were the racist one.
Right.
That's
Right, 'cause you don't think that they would
my
want
fault.
that.
No, that's my fault, dude. Like really, I
Right.
should
You
have
don't
guessed
think-
it earlier. I should have guessed it earlier. My bad. I'll take the hit on that one. Really, that one's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
really,
I'm
that
a
one's
white
on me.
guy.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Mary, thank you
you're
so
right.
much for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Mary.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for my ancestors,
All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller because again, I don't know if we're on like no IQ day or what's going on, but I don't really know what's going on. Fair Chase Outdoors said, I feel like he has been blackmailed by Jews. That's weird. Daniel, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, I wish I knew if this was a parody or not. The entire government is broken, not just the right. Men can't get pregnant. It's a psyop to find the weak. Well, you know what? I think we found him, Daniel. I think our search for the weak is over. I think we got there. Okay. I think we made it. We got all the way there. All right, Daniel. Thank you so much for the super chat, Daniel. We're gonna move on to the next caller. This is you know what? This is a day. This is a day. This is This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I'll be glad. This is how bad Christian indoctrination is that I am damn near 40, and I still remember the songs that were put into my head when I was a kid. That's wild. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next person. Some of y'all were indoctrinated with that song. Also, y'all, if you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats open. I also have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So if you'd like to support, I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, I need one more corgi. And we need 4 more members before the day is over, too. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 57.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Well, I figured I'd go another round with you. This is Tom. Remember, you wanted me to be president when we got in that heated debate a little while ago?
No idea.
Oh, you don't remember? Okay. The reason why I'm calling, I know you get a lot of folks calling with their ideas and their thoughts, and I know you don't like Trump. So I'm not coming on. I don't want to disrespect your channel, so I want to be real respectful this time. Last time I got a little loud, so I apologize.
Again, sir, no offense. I do not have a clue who you are. What's on your mind?
No, that's okay. I was telling you how you enjoyed Florida instead of Colorado. So, but here's the deal. I'm 57. Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I am 38 years old.
Okay. So I have a son, a little bit younger than you. He's about 36. He's biracial, just like yourself. Okay.
I do not like where this is going.
Well, no. Here's what I'm going to tell you. So I'm his dad. I'm white. His mom's black. I grew up very similar. But what I try to explain to him when we were talking about Trump was politics is a very ugly game. You know, you got folks on the left, you got folks on the right. And with Trump, I think he made the mistake a long time ago when he was a Democrat, a good decade. And not a lot of people your age know this because they didn't do their due diligence on him. He's a rude, crude, shrewd New York businessman. He's made a lot of mistakes, done a lot of bad things, right? He's not everybody's cup of tea. I know he's trying, but my question to you is, if he would have ran as a Democrat, right? He was friends with the Clintons. He was friends with a lot of folks back in the day. If he would have ran as a Democrat, do you think he would have got a better fair shake with the media and everybody?
No.
Okay.
What, right. Sir, Democrats literally historically have not gotten fair shakes from the media, and they weren't nearly as bad as Trump. So I can't imagine that Trump would be any different.
Okay.
The media spread how Obama wasn't born here and we need to find his birth certificate, and went on for months about him wearing a tan suit. Okay. And he hadn't done like fucking anything. All right. So I have no idea why the media would be softer on him with these Democrats when they have never been soft on Democrats to begin with. Not to mention the fact that he never would have won a Democratic primary.
Right. No, I asked that because I know he was really good friends with Reverend Jesse Jackson back in the day. He was real good friends with, he actually went to Chelsea's wedding. Clintons actually were friends with him at one point, so everybody's flip-flopped on each other. You know, everybody's hating on each other. I'm at a point now that I know he's going to die soon at some point. He's getting up in age. Who do we replace him with? Because I don't see anybody with an answer on who our next president's going to be, because he's going to be gone in 3 years. So who do we put in there that everybody will like? I'm kind of thinking Rubio, but I'm perplexed. I don't really know who do you put in there.
Yeah, we're way too early to be thinking about that. I tell you, Rubio doesn't stand a chance.
Okay.
So, because Donald Trump has literally made him look like a weak little bitch the whole time, and nobody respects him anymore. Rubio had a much better chance of getting my vote before he did any of this stuff with Trump, to be completely honest with you. I thought he was like, I didn't really like Rubio, especially being from Florida. I wasn't a big fan of Rubio, but God, I didn't think he was this fucking dumb.
Do you think DeSantis is going to try to come back in the mix?
No. Donald Trump has literally made like all of these people ineligible.
Okay.
The only person that ran against Donald Trump that could actually hold her own to a point is Nikki Haley. She is the only one that I think could come back and actually run and actually stand a chance. DeSantis doesn't have a chance. Rubio doesn't have a chance. Most of these people in his fucking cabinet don't have a fucking chance in hell.
Would you like to see? I'm going to throw a name out here. He's a Silver Star guy. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Big tough guy. Jocko. Do you think Jocko Willenick would ever run?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's well known in the military community. So I'm just kind of picking your brain here. That's all. I mean, I know we're not going to agree on all this stuff, and you're a progressive guy, and I don't know of any progressives that would make a good president. Do you know any?
I can think of probably quite a few that would be very good presidents. Yeah.
Who's on the ticket right now that people are talking about? Because in another year
Gavin.
they're going to start. So, but I know he's a smooth talker. I know he's pretty smart, but I mean, he did a lot of. Look what he's done with California. So I don't know.
You mean what has he done with the literal biggest, strongest state in the union and the world's fourth largest economy? You mean that one?
Well, he didn't handle the fire. He handled it poorly.
He handled it just fine. Yeah, Donald Trump just keeps telling you that he didn't handle it well. Okay, there's nothing you can do. You can't control fires in California. See, I'm assuming you haven't spent much time in California.
No, I've never been. I've only passed through.
So I grew up in Southern California, in desert Southern California. Okay, those fires happen.
Yep.
Every fucking year. They happened. They happened when I was a kid. My friends used to have to escape their houses, right? Because fires were coming. All right. So there was fires every single year. There's always fires. The only difference is they had extraordinary Santa Ana winds that year. Okay. Which unless somebody else has the ability to, control the winds and how they whip through California, I don't think Gavin Newsom does. There's nothing that you can do to prevent fires that happen in the desert and winds that come that are an act of God. Okay. That's no different than freaking blaming Ron DeSantis for hurricanes.
So the issue with the fire hydrants and the reservoirs and all that, he didn't screw anything up, and they didn't have any.
No, the reservoirs were actually full, and they were actually more of a capacity than any fire they had before. They had no way of predicting this type of natural disaster was going to happen, and they were all there. That whole deal with the water not coming down, that wasn't a real thing. None of that was fucking real, dude.
So all the people that were on camera, or the people that lost their houses, were being interviewed constantly, and nobody got to them, and no water got to.
It's insane.
That was all a lie.
No water did get to them. There's nothing that could have prevented that.
So you're saying that California, this has got to go down in history as one of the biggest losses, right? That whole Pacific Palisades. They lost millions and billions of dollars worth of stuff, and who knows when it'll be fixed. But there's no access to water. Of
course there's access to water. There was tons of fucking water. There was literally millions of gallons of water coming out of fire hydrants. Okay, not to mention the fact that you have the entire Pacific Ocean there. Okay. You do realize that salt water puts out fires too, right?
No. I know that. I got in a debate about that. The problem is that salt water, they don't have the ability to transfer that water. There's an issue. I don't know that.
That's a lie. Not to mention where I grew up is right next to a very, very large lake in between two other lakes in Southern California that also have huge amounts of fresh water that could be used. Okay. I grew up in Riverside County, very close to Paris Lake, a giant freshwater lake where you could get fresh water from. Not to mention that freaking just north of Lake Elsinore, which is another giant lake in which you could get fresh water. And again, the problem is that in order to get that water to where it needed to be, you needed helicopters. Okay, and the helicopters couldn't fly because again, you had an act of God, extraordinary Santa Ana winds coming out of the north. So the delivery system for the water could not get to the fires.
But on the ground, were they lacking personnel then?
No.
Do you think? Okay.
Literally, we have like California has literally thousands and thousands of freaking trained firefighters, volunteer firefighters. Not to mention freaking the National Guard, which has their own training when it comes to those fires. You have the National Forest Service, which has trained firefighters. You literally have, like, again, sir, this is not. Fires happen every single year. Okay, they happen every single year. It's an act of God. Okay, that's all it was.
What happened to why they couldn't stop this one?
Because the Santa Ana winds were pushing the fires at a rate that could not be controlled, and the delivery system for water could not get there due to those winds.
Okay. And so to fight a fire like this, they have to have air capabilities. That was probably the biggest issue then. It's just there's nothing.
Yes, you do have to have air capabilities in order to fight it. There's no amount of fire hydrants that are going to be able to stop this type of thing now. And again, this isn't abnormal. I remember I remember looking over at Paris Lake, which again, it was near where I grew up, and watching the helicopters come in and get the water buckets and take them out. Helicopter after helicopter after helicopter after helicopter after helicopter. It was happening all the time. And it happened every single year growing up.
Right.
Yep. This is not normal. This is not abnormal. California is used to fires just like Florida is used to hurricanes, like Oklahoma is used to tornadoes, and North Dakota is used to blizzards, okay? It doesn't change the fact, okay, that when something extraordinary happens, right, like a blizzard that is extraordinarily cold or extraordinarily long, or, you know, a hurricane like Michael or Katrina that comes up that is larger than we've seen before or sits longer than it was before, right? Or, sorry, I said Santa Ana winds. It's Santa Fe winds, right? My bad. Whichever winds they were. But anyways, regardless of any of that, it doesn't change that when Katrina hits, we don't go, oh, that was an extraordinary circumstance. Now we need to prep for that because that's something that could happen. Or Michael is the you know, I was right, Santa Ana. Thank you. These things happen. We don't go, oh, Governor DeSantis, you giant piece of shit. How did you let that hurricane destroy Panama City?
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. We understand that it's an act of God.
If you don't mind, so my name's Tom. I know you don't. What's your first name?
You can just call me Paulie.
Okay, Paulie want a cracker. I'm sorry, I had to do it. So Paulie, we're never gonna make everybody happy. I mean, I look back 30, 40 plus years, and do you know who had the highest approval rating of presidents in our lifetime, in our age group? In the 50s and 60s. Do you know who had the highest approval rating?
Originally, it was probably Nixon.
It was Reagan.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And so he had, there's a term called a likability factor. I don't know how many people are going to like Gavin, right? Like I said, he looks the part. He's a smooth talker. He's smart. You got to have a likability factor. And the reason why I'm racking my brain to the future, you know, looking past Trump, either he's going to die, he's going to get out of office, but how are we going to bring America back together with I mean, you lived in California. Did you ever see this much rioting? I was old enough back in the Rodney King riots, but, you know, and LA, or the Watts riots, you've heard of those, but all this stuff over immigration and people fighting and all that, and you're progressive. I'm hoping you'd want us to come together at one point. I don't want people fighting and looting and stealing and just constantly in every city. And do you think Gavin is the man that's going to kind of bring the temperature down and bring people back to a sense of, okay.
Sir, I don't know whether Gavin will bring the temperature down. I know you already voted in the person that's going to bring the temperature up and is currently bringing the temperature up. Okay.
I didn't.
So it's, well,
I didn't
regardless,
vote.
you're supporting regardless. Okay.
No.
Well, you are.
But
You're supporting the person that's bringing up the temperature, okay? So how about we worry about just keeping the temperature down right now, and since the president that freaking people voted in is the one that is literally the person that is inflaming the problems with our country, okay? And we'll worry about who's going to take over the country in 3 years plus.
But see, not proactive.
A little lit. Sir, we are proactive. We're just not, we're worried about the midterms, not the presidency, okay? You're trying to put the cart before the horse, and I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 3 years, okay?
Yeah, we might not be here. Who knows?
Well,
you never know, right? Earlier you said frickin' Satan, and I'm like, okay, I know you were just messing with the guy. I know you don't believe that, but we just gotta start, be nice, start showing some love to each other, helping each other, and it's a tough thing because I got a daughter that doesn't agree with me. I got family that doesn't agree with me, and all I'm saying is, before he ever stepped into office, you didn't hear any of this crap about Trump. Never.
Yes, you did.
Well, we're not gonna go to the stupid ads he put out in New York or any of the crap that I know is history. But he was friends with a lot of people that you like right now.
Who do I like?
I'm assuming you like the Clintons.
I mean, Bill was a good president. I don't like him as a person.
Kamala, you like Gavin. You're telling me that they all go to the same type of schools or country clubs and friends. They all know each other. Look up.
They all know each other, sir. Knowing other people and friggin' being friends with them are two different things. And if you really wanted that, then maybe you should maybe we should put in somebody who's not a rich prick asshole.
I would love to be president.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, but hey, I'm gonna move on to the next caller. I hope you have a good one. All right.
Oh, thanks a lot. I didn't raise my voice this time.
Good job. You did it.
All right, man.
All right. Bye-bye. Congratulations. I don't know what else to say there. Uh-oh. That's not good. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I'm live. Hi, how are you guys doing? Let's see. Where was I at on the super chats? Daniel says, I wish I knew if this was a parody or not. Oh, wait, no, I already read that one from Daniel. Oh, here's Daniel. AOC is predicted 2028. Rednecks will not bow to her. I didn't think we bowed to presidents. But thanks for the $5, Daniel. I appreciate that. I didn't think we had to bow to presidents, but I'd love AOC as president. That'd be great. And Daniel also said, Adam Carolla said his and all his friends' property is going to get stolen through EPA rebuilding regulations. Well, poor Adam Carolla. I hope he survives. I don't know what to say, Daniel. I'm sorry. I don't. Adam Carolla is a literal crazy person. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. He's a literal crazy person. All right. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate the $5 super chat. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Cola. For Corolla. For Corolla, for Taurus. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, Daniel's pretty much the co-host at this point. You are right. He's pretty much co-hosting this thing. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how's it going?
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah. I mean, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Because you had a big brain?
I mean, I definitely feel like I have a big brain. Like
Yeah.
Donald Trump supports Israel. Why wouldn't I support him?
Oh.
What's wrong with supporting Israel?
All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller because I don't have time for that tonight. I don't have the time nor the patience for that tonight. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 42.
You're how old?
42.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda, yeah. Why kinda, yeah? Hello?
It's insane.
Greg, thank you so much for going poly obsessed. Thank you so much, Greg. Y'all make sure you hit that follow button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Kinda how? How do you support Why do you support Trump?
No. So forget about Trump. I was just wondering. You just said AOC would be a good president, a good. You would rather see her as president right now
Then
Trump? 'Cause
Trump?
that kind of discredit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That kind of
Wait. Oh
discredits,
yeah.
like,
Not
everything that you said.
not even close. Yeah. 100%.
But please elaborate on that.
In
'Cause
my
I'm
defense,
lost.
I would rather have my Australian Shepherd as president than Donald Trump. So.
All right, but also I wanted to ask you this because I watch your show and I scream at the phone. So at this point, I don't knock your hustle. I understand, but why the division? Why are you not trying to upgrade the Democratic Party instead of downgrade?
I'm not a Democrat.
The right or the left. Like, do you agree that?
Sir,
that they
I'm not
need help
upgrading
here?
or downgrading anybody. I'm just up here speaking facts and truth to people that don't seem to believe
Right.
in them.
Okay, so like myself, like even whether I support Trump or not, Trump didn't get elected because of people supporting him. He got elected because of people not supporting the left.
Okay.
You understand that, right?
No, not because of not supporting the left, because of not supporting the Democrats.
Democrat, left, whatever you want to say. I mean,
But no, those are two different things. I'm on the left. I'm not a Democrat.
Okay. I mean, it's just you have leftist things happening with Democratic Party, so it looks like they're kind of being ran by the left. I mean, we have
neo-Nazis that support Donald Trump. Does that mean Donald Trump's a neo-Nazi?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's the same logic you just used.
I guess, right? You guys have been using it for years now, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Now, does it? But my
that
big
doesn't have
question to you
anything to
is
do with
how-
what I just
why-
said. I
why
was just
do you
making an example.
participate? Why do you?
Why do I start?
participate in the
Why do I
division of the
participate in?
United States?
Why do I participate in open dialogue?
It's
Because
not
I believe
dialogue
open
at this
dialogue.
point, 'cause
It is
we're
open
almost
dialogue.
to we're almost to the midterms.
We're not even.
We have
halfway to the
We're
midterms.
almost to the midterms. It's really not that deep. You know what I mean? Like we stood with Biden. You didn't see people going crazy and rioting in the streets. Like we just kept cool.
January
You know what I mean? It's
6th
4
was
years.
literally rioting and freaking
January
trying to
6th
stop a
January
freaking
6th, no one-
an electoral process. Literally trying to stop an electoral process, literally beating
It
up
was a
police
revolution.
officers, and literally
A
ending up with
revolution
people dead.
against the government. An
Gotcha.
uprising against the government.
Gotcha. So when
The
people,
government, this is America.
Gotcha. So when people riot against
Yeah.
police brutality, the government, because the government is
No,
killing.
they're burning down, they're burning down civilian businesses.
I'm talking.
Yep, go ahead.
All right. So when people protest against freaking police brutality because the government is literally killing them, then that's a riot. But when freaking people are lied to and saying that an election was stolen, they tried to freaking run a Congress and hang the vice president, that's a revolution.
Especially when they're brought in by the feds.
Oh, gotcha. So you're a conspiracy theorist.
No, that's not a conspiracy. It's on camera and video.
Sir, it is not on camera and video.
Yes, it is.
It
the
is
video
not.
was shown. They
It
were
is
let
not.
in by the feds.
No, they were.
And there was feds in-
Some
there was
people
feds
were let
in
in,
the
sir.
crowd.
Some people were let in to the Capitol. That is
Mm-hmm.
correct. That's not the fucking people I'm talking about.
And we're talking about an insurrection where nobody died as a direct result from it.
Yes, there was. There was
There was
four
no
different people
no
that died.
gunshot. There was no nothing like that.
Not yet, but people
You're-
did bring
we're-
guns,
we're
and actually
we're
somebody was
comparing-
shot and killed. What are you talking about?
Hold on, we're comparing Americans going
You
into
do
a
realize
Capitol
that-
building that we own. It's our building.
Yeah,
So we're
stop
comparing that
stop a democratic process.
Okay, we're comparing
If
that
you're
to-
going into the Capitol to stop a democratic process, what is that called?
whatever you want to call it. I call it a revolution, but whatever you want to call it. You want to call it an insurrection, that's fine.
No,
It
sir.
doesn't matter.
We're not calling it different things. We're calling it what it is, which is an insurrection. That's the name of it.
Yep.
Okay.
An angry mob. Yep. Okay. So you're comparing that to people going crazy, rioting, and burning down civilian-owned businesses.
Actually, we actually do know that a lot of the people that were burning down businesses and stuff like that, a lot of people that were arrested weren't from there and actually did not hold much political belief and definitely were not part of the BLM riots. That we actually do know
I agree.
because there were actually arrests and people were actually in prison for it. That we actually do have facts for. So the people that were protesting police brutality weren't even the ones for the majority that were rioting and taking down buildings and stuff like that.
No,
but for the people, sir, but
yeah.
I'm not finished talking. But
Go
for
ahead.
the people that were doing that, I condemn those actions that for the people that do that. But trying to pretend like that is the majority of people is ridiculous.
I've seen it in pretty much all states. It was a pretty big.
It was in all states because in all states, unarmed black men are getting fucking killed by police for no reason.
Listen, I'm not going to argue with that. I don't back the police. I don't say that they should be defunded. We need them, but they definitely need help over there in that department as far as training and stuff like that. But I don't see the comparison there. So I mean, people compared January 6th with September 11th. Like it's insane. It's crazy.
No, one's an insurrection, one's a terrorist attack.
Well, people literally compare. So
one's an act of foreign
numbers.
One's an act of foreign terrorism, and one's an act of domestic terrorism.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just thought that we're able to basically fight for our things that we stand for. I mean, we literally.
What do you stand for? A lie?
For what?
You stand for a lie?
No. There was something wrong. There was plenty of evidence backing up.
Sir, there was over 60
an election issue.
There was over 60 different independent investigations and court cases to find to prove election fraud. Not a singular one of them provided a singular piece of evidence in any way or shape or form that would have had any significance towards our election whatsoever, including three different private investigative agencies that were hired by the Trump administration in order to investigate them. And not a single one of those investigative agencies found a singular piece of proof that there was any type of election fraud.
Well, I have common sense. There's definitely
apparently not, sir, because if there's over 60 different court cases, including ones tried by freaking Trump designated or appointed judges, okay, in very red Republican districts, and not a singular one of them found even the slightest inkling, okay, of election fraud, then you're not using your common sense, you're using your feelings, sir.
No. It's not about my feelings.
It's all about your feelings.
As a 42-year-old man, you could see that something was wrong.
No, sir. You were told something is wrong, and now you feel like something is wrong. No, sir. You were told something was wrong, and you believed it because you acted like a sheep. You just let whatever Donald Trump tell you.
No. The Democrats are very good at what they do. They're very, very good at what they do. They've been doing it for years.
So gotcha. So the Democrats cheated on the election, okay, but didn't decide to give themselves like a super majority or even like a full majority. They decided to just cheat for the president, but not cheating in the other ones. And then they actually came up to the 2024 election and they decided to cheat. So they decided, you know what, we're not going to cheat this time. Actually, we're going to cheat the other way, even though we've already proven that we could, cheat the first time. That's what you're thinking?
No, I'm past that already. I mean, we're going to argue for no. There's no.
You're right. There is no argument. There was no credible proof of cheating whatsoever, and you're in your feelings.
Right. Exactly. So it brings me to under Biden. We've seen a lot of things happening that were going downhill. Economy, the border, this, that, the other thing. Right. So now that we have a fixed border, the economy is stable.
Stable?
Why is it that? Yes.
It's not stable.
It's 100% stable. It's stable.
We had the first job loss numbers since COVID shut down. We have an unemployment rate we have an unemployment rate that's the highest it's been in 4 years. Sir, it was already better.
No.
It's getting worse.
There was okay. So if there's things like credit, for instance, right? We have the highest level of credit that we've ever had, in the households. Every household is literally, in so much debt. So, I mean, things like that will be helped eventually. It took Trump last time about a year to 2 years for real major things to start happening. Gas
and all
prices
those
going
things were
down,
negative.
things like that. No, what do you mean,
sir?
I
The
was
first
paying-
2
I
years,
was
the
paying $2
first,
for home
the first
heating
2
oil.
years of Donald Trump's presidency were
under $2 in New York.
Sir, the first
I mean,
2
come
years,
on.
sir, the first 2 years of Donald Trump's presidency
Mhm.
were amazing. The first time, okay, literally, freaking numbers, inflation screaming down, unemployment screaming down, median household income screaming up, stock market screaming up, and then Donald Trump's policies took place. And then economists said we were headed towards a recession. And the only reason that we didn't actually hit a recession was because of COVID. Now, Donald Trump gets an economy that the Wall Street Journal called an economy that was the envy of the world. Okay,
I don't agree with that.
Sir, I don't care what you agree with, sir.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish.
We had
before I
record
make-
low unemployment rate. Okay, we had record high stock market numbers. Okay, we had record high job creation, record high. Okay, and then Donald Trump came in. Donald Trump started putting his policies in, and now we are literally just seething fucking manufacturing jobs. Okay, unemployment rate is rising. All right. We are losing jobs all over the place. All right. Inflation starting to rise and probably going to rise even more significant with his increase in tariffs. Okay. At least projected. We are literally headed towards stagnation, an economy that is so stagnated right now that was the reason that the Federal Reserve actually gave for dropping interest rates, is that they are afraid our entire economy is going to stagnate and they needed to find a way to spark it because Donald Trump is doing so bad.
Okay. I mean, I believe in the plan that he has as far as tariffs are concerned. There's two ways of doing it. You could either tax the rich or raise tariffs. So raising tariffs instead of taxing the rich and running them out of our country, the people that create the job and things like that.
Yeah, trickle-down economics does not work. I'm sorry. Yeah, what you're saying is we can either tax corporations or we could tax the people. Yeah,
I mean,
and Donald Trump chose tax the people.
Or the other.
And yeah, exactly. Except for the fact that we've already seen through our history that trickle down economics doesn't work. Giving tax breaks for corporations does not create jobs in any type of way. Okay, and that when we put money up there, it actually hurts the economy because it stagnates at the top of companies instead of going into the economy.
Would you say it works if it was done right?
The correct way to do it is to raise taxes on corporations. That is the right way. There is no right way to stimulate the economy by giving tax breaks to corporations. There is no right way.
Yeah, I mean, I do know that pre like 1950s, 60s, there was high tax on the rich, and it did work.
No, you mean during the 1950s and 60s, all the way up into the early 1970s, and we had one of the most robust economies ever in American history. We had a corporate tax rate. We had a corporate tax rate up towards the 90. Well, actually, no, it wasn't when taxes came. It was one that we freaking started lowering corporate tax rate in favor of freaking taxing the poor, and B, also getting away from the gold standard. Those are actually the two things that actually drove us very far down. Then we went into the Reagan administration where we actually got into trickle down economics, where we started doing things like freaking reducing tax for corporations in order to feed down, and that is when we had a pretty much destruction of the middle class, which pretty much is where we are right now.
Yeah, the paychecks stopped too. The actual people's earnings didn't match with the price of living. So I mean that really has been a problem since the 70s. So I mean, I look, we could agree to disagree. The only thing that I could say is Trump was the best of two evils. I don't know how our country couldn't come up with someone better than both on both sides. It almost feels like we're in an experiment. That's how it feels.
But he wasn't.
So I mean,
but he wasn't. He wasn't he wasn't the best of two evils. I'll agree. I wish we could come up with two better people. I wish Biden had never tried to run for a second term. I wish Donald Trump had never ran and been voted in. I agree with all of that stuff. But to say Donald Trump was the better of two evils is just fucking psycho. Okay, it's just crazy. Donald Trump did nothing to help the American people during his entire term, while the Biden administration, while stuck with very negative things like COVID and a freaking crashing economy due to COVID, did absolutely amazing things for the economy. Okay, did absolutely amazing things for the people. Actually put American money and American tax dollars back in to American people's pockets. Okay, that is what the Biden administration actually did. The Biden administration tried to secure the border. They were stopped by Republicans. Okay, they did a whole bunch of stuff. Donald Trump still to this day hasn't done shit. He hasn't done shit to actually help the middle and lower classes. He hasn't done anything. The only thing Donald Trump actually done to actually help the middle class in any type of meaningful way was Operation Warp Speed, in which he encouraged the vaccination to get built at a actually timely manner to stop you from dying. And he also made it where I don't have to take off my shoes at TSA. Those are Donald Trump's giant accomplishments. Okay. And that's about it. Outside of that, he's freaking raising our prices, destroying our jobs, and taking away people's health care.
Well, I pray that it gets better, and I pray that his plan actually works. I don't want to bet against him because it's just us getting hurt at the end of the day. So I mean, we're stuck. What else are we going to do? So instead of fighting amongst each other, we're ready to have a civil war.
Sir, you're getting exactly what you voted for. This is exactly what you voted for.
That's not what
this is exactly what Donald Trump said he was going to do. That's what frustrates. That's what frustrates me. Is
convention was what people wanted.
This is what you wanted. You wanted divisiveness. You got it. Donald Trump said he would go after his political enemies. He said he would. Okay? This divisiveness is exactly what you wanted. He said he was going to implement tariffs. He said he was going to raise your costs. He said he was going to do that. He said he was going to give corporate tax cuts. He said he was going to do all these things. He said he was going to get rid of government programs. He says all of these things that he said he was going to do is exactly what he's doing. And so when they negatively affect us, okay, what the time to think about coming together was last year. The time to think about how as effective his economy would be was last year. Okay? It was last year. Now you're in it. Okay? Now
how do we move forward?
You resist it. You resist the negative things that our president is doing. You don't just sit there and go, well, I hope everything's going to be okay, or I hope that things get better. No, you resist the negative. Okay, when Obama was the presidency and started doing horrific, we'll say horrific, really bad immigration practices, freaking separating families, putting children in cages, the left went ape shit. Okay, the left lost their minds because even though they voted for Obama, and honestly, I still love Obama's presidency as a whole and his domestic policies, even though I disagreed with that and some of his foreign policy, right? I still was critical of the president that I voted for and said, no, you are doing something wrong, and we are going to stand up against the negatives that you're doing, even though you're on my side.
I can't argue with that. You're right. You're 100%
and so what I'm telling you right now is, sure, you voted for Donald Trump. That's great. Now be an American, not a Trump supporter, and stand up for what's right and what's wrong.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And you know what I think is going to be the catapult to that? Israel. His stance on Israel, taking away benefits for people that don't stand with Israel and things like this. That's what's going to really catapult this because, you can in the air. People are sick of it. We're not falling for it anymore. So I think that's what's really going to catapult it because, like, when this started, I said, I'm saying to the first ones to make January 6th look like a child's play. You know what I mean? If he implemented certain things. And I could see that it could go that way. And I think Israel would be the catapult to where the right says, that's enough. That's just my take, but I could be wrong.
Well, I appreciate your take. I am going to move on to the next caller, but I hope you have a good day, all right?
You too, man.
All right. Bye. Oh, all right. We're gonna keep going on to the next person. I really appreciate you guys. I'm seeing it's like some Johnny and some Ari raids over here. I don't know if they're official raids or not, but welcome in Raiders from Johnny and Ari. How y'all doing today? Luis, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said thank you. I'm debating in Puerto Rico with some MAGA friend. Is not going well for them. Thanks to Puerto Rico. I'm glad it's not going well for them. I'm glad I read that wrong. Hopefully I've helped y'all with a few things. So thank you so much, Luis. I appreciate that. Puerto Rico in the house. Jeffrey, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says shout out to Taurus. Got one of those gifteds. Hell yeah, Taurus. Hell yeah. Cannibal Kitty, how you doing? Thank you so much for the sticker and the $3 super sticker. I appreciate that. Mary Kate with a gifted membership. I really appreciate that. Make sure whoever got that sends a big old W to Mary Kate over there. Daniel's still here. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Daniel. Said you don't support Israel. Pretty unglobalistic monetary policy. America needs to give their fiat currency to Judaism. Oh, Jesus Christ. And Daniel says George Bush was the first to illegally steal an election from Gore through Florida election fraud. All right. And well, you know what? Daniel's still out here. Thank you so much for the super chats, Daniel. Daniel's still here. Daniel's still here. We're going to move on to the next caller. Thank you guys so much for being here. Guys, make sure you guys hit the follow button, that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you'd like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all in my link tree, and they're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So if you'd like to support, I really appreciate that. If you're over on the YouTube side, of course, super chats are always open. And becoming members, gifting memberships are always great ways to support the live. So I really, really appreciate you guys. If you're on the TikTok side, I am trying to get over these tiny dinies over here, the little whatever little ones we got there. And, of course, any other ways that you guys like to support. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys being here on a Thursday night. Thank you guys so much. Really, really means a lot to me. I'm going to keep this going at least through... well, we'll see how long we keep this thing going. We'll see how long let's keep this thing going. The last card. Tara, thank you so much for the gold mine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tara, for the gold mine. W's the chat for Tara. Hello, how are you?
Hello? Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Well, that's kind of a hard... I mean, I've been kind of watching what you were saying, and I think it's kind of hard to kind of put this all into perspective without kind of talking about what the country's been going through in the past, 20 years, I'd say. I feel like, especially Democrats, the party itself has focused so much on identity politics and putting people running for office that mostly care about people in this country that aren't Americans. And so, to say that I still support Trump doesn't it wouldn't support all the things that maybe have been going wrong in his administration. But I think it's more important to recognize that the little that that he has done has been so much better than what we've gone through, especially with Biden and Obama. I mean, we could talk about I don't know. You give me something, and I'll.
No, you're the one that's saying the good that he's given us is better than what's happened under Biden or Obama. I'd like to know what.
Well, we've had a better economy under Trump. I would say. I'd say immigration policy has definitely been a plus.
How is our economy better?
Just look at the figures. I mean, the numbers speak for itself. I mean, look,
highest unemployment rate.
People in this country can't buy homes.
And they still can't buy homes.
Effort to do that.
No, what plan is he having to? What plan is he having to help people buy homes?
I don't know. Bringing American jobs back to this country, actually giving people a chance. I mean,
this is the first job loss numbers we've had in 4.5 years.
Where do you get those statistics?
From Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Trump government.
Really? I would love to see those numbers.
Yeah, sure. I can pull them up whenever you like. BLS literally announced that in June we had negative 13,000 job creation. That was the first time we've lost jobs in a month.
No, sure. But would you say that's more of an effect of there being less immigrants in this country and people actually getting deported for once?
Because unemployment,
and us actually having to find new people to fill those job positions?
Well, first of all, no, it's not, because the unemployment rate is also the highest that it's been in 4 years, and that wouldn't have an effect on that. But B, if it was immigration, let's just say that it was, right? That's still Donald Trump's fault, and there aren't people to fill those positions.
How is immigration Donald Trump's fault when Biden allowed 15 million people to come into this
First of all, he didn't allow 15 million people to come in, but what we're saying...
I'm pretty sure, and if you want to talk statistics, I'm pretty sure the FBI released, and Homeland Security, and multiple government agencies released those numbers
They
under
have
Biden.
all released those numbers, and none of them say that.
They have.
No, they do not.
Yeah, they do. And I can pull out the same statistics that you can.
Sure, then pull them up. I'll put them up on the screen for everybody to see. Sir, tell me where you want me to pull them up from. I will pull them up, put them up on the screen, and prove you wrong with whatever you want to pull up.
Yeah, we'll do it right here.
Sure.
Sure. I'm gonna
So
look them up right now.
while he's pulling up the numbers, I'm going to tell you what he's going to pull up before he even pulls them up, because I've looked at the stats from Homeland Security, from Customs and Border Protection, and from the FBI, and they all say the exact same thing, which is that we had 15 million border encounters. And when you actually look at that, when you see border encounters, that does not mean people that are actually in the United States. That just means that people that the Border Patrol encountered. So if you were let in legally, that is an encounter. If you were deported, that's also an encounter. It is not the number of undocumented immigrants that are actually in this country. So, but please go ahead and pull it up.
No, I'm saying, well, and
No, go ahead and pull it up so I can show you that, show all these people.
You are, I mean, you already explained it, but I'll respond to what you just said. I mean, those encounters that you're talking about was using the CBP-1 app, which is an app used for people to come into this country and then be able to skip their court-mandated dates.
Incorrect.
But see, you're arguing for people. And
Incorrect.
So you know what
No, stop.
No,
because you're lying, and I am not going to let you move past the point if you're going to say a blatant lie.
I'm not moving past the point. I'm going to.
No, because you're talking about the CBP-1 app, and that's not what the CBP-1 app did. That's not. I'll cut you off all I want. That's not what the CBP app 1 did.
Okay, fine. I'm going to take it a step further, and
we're going to talk about what the CBP-1 app did.
No, you're not.
No, we are. If you're going to
why you are arguing for illegal immigrants.
I don't want undocumented immigrants to be able to cross over the border easily, but that doesn't mean that your stats and what you're.
They were crossing in record numbers,
sir. Just because because your stats are bullshit doesn't mean that I'm for freaking unsecure border. Okay, I just want to use the actual statistics to talk about the security of our border, and you want to talk about made up fucking data to talk about the border.
It's not made up data.
It is. What was the CBP-1 app?
So are you pulling them up on the screen,
sir? What was this?
Because I obviously can't pull them up.
Sir, I was gonna pull them up on the screen. I told you to tell me a fucking source. You refused to and said that I already proved my point. Proved you wrong. So what's the point of pulling it up?
No. I said you. No. I never said you proved me wrong. Don't put words in my mouth.
I did, because I already explained it. I asked you to find a source for me, and you refused to do it. So I'm going to go ahead.
I gave you the source. It was the FBI.
Sir, you're going to have to be more than just FBI. What page should I look at that says that they were anything different than encounters?
Let me go through this for you.
Do you really need me to pull this up for you?
Yeah, I would love that, actually.
Okay, cool. I will pull up.
No. And sure. Do you think it's acceptable for 15 mil? Is that an acceptable number to you?
An acceptable number of people showing up? There is not an acceptable or unacceptable.
Do you think that's an acceptable
I'm trying
number?
to answer your question. I can't do it if you don't shut the fuck up.
Well, hey, you better calm down, buddy, all right? Because you're getting a little
now you're trying to
here,
tone police me.
Tone police?
Sir, if you're going to ask me a question, then after you ask the question, shut the fuck up.
Don't talk to me like that, man.
Then don't act like a child. If you're gonna act like a child, you will be treated like one. Okay?
That's fine.
You asked me a question.
It's okay.
You asked me a question. I got 4 words into answering the question, and you start yapping again.
That's fine. You can continue to you can just talk.
All right. How about you just say whatever you want to say? Apparently, what I have to say is not important. Go ahead.
No, I actually want to listen. Seriously.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. Apparently whatever you have to say is more important, and that's the problem with our country. So go ahead.
I want to have a civil discussion with you. Can we do that?
I've been trying to the whole time. You're the one who won't allow me to.
Where do you see our country in 20 years?
Nope. We're still talking about border encounters because you told me to pull it up. See, this is the problem, sir. You want to throw stuff out there, and then when we talk about the things that you want to throw out there, then you say we're not having a civil discussion. So here is the actual number.
I say that when you start name calling.
Here is the number of border encounters at the southern border. And if you look up the definition for border encounters, okay, border encounters just means people that showed up at the border and tried to enter our country. And I don't believe that it is a Biden stat or a Biden administration stat of how many people just decided to show up. Because I don't believe that the Biden administration has the ability to control who shows up at our southern border. The ability that they have is to control how many people are let in and whether we have the resources or not to stop people that shouldn't be let in from coming into the country. Okay, but the overwhelming majority of the people that that encountered at the border were sent back. I believe it was like 80% of the people that are actually encountered at the southern border were sent back. 60% of asylum seekers. What you're really referring is about the people that were snuck around Border Patrol. About 4 million people, according to current estimates. Okay, just about.
Okay.
And what we needed was more Border Patrol agents. What we needed was more technology at the border. What we needed was the ability to actually secure the southern border. Okay?
Of course, I agree with that. I totally agree with everything you're
So
saying.
the Biden administration implemented 4, or was it 5? It might have been 5. I think it was 4 or 5 different immigration bills that would have done all of those things, including one in 2023 that was primarily written by Republicans that was specifically stopped by Donald Trump. Donald Trump called the Senate, even though Republican senators wrote it, and Republicans had 100% agreement before he called down there on adding more Border Patrol agents, on adding more technology, on adding more border, on adding even a border wall. Joe Biden tried to do all of that, and Trump stopped him. So if Biden did it, if Biden tried to do it, sure, 1 second. If Biden tried to do it, and Trump called the Senate and told them not to pass it, specifically for the reason that he didn't want Biden to have a win on immigration, then how is that Biden? How is that not Trump, and how is that Biden?
So, was that exclusively a border bill? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
was
it
there
originally
anything else in there
was-
that may have been?
Well, it was originally a border bill.
Caused Trump to.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
originally
so
a
then
border bill. And then
so
the
what was in that
Republicans,
bill
hold
that-
on, sir. I'll answer your question right now. It was originally just a border bill. Then the Republicans asked if we could attach Ukraine and Israel funding to it. Okay. Then the Republicans shot down the bill because of the Israel, they said, according to the Israel and Ukraine funding. So the Democrats separated out those bills into 3 different bills, one for Ukraine, one for Israel, and one for immigration. And then those same Republicans passed the bill for Ukraine funding. They passed the bill for immigration funding, and they didn't pass the standalone immigration bill.
Okay. Well, who had the majority in the House?
It never got to the House.
It's in the Senate. I'm so sorry.
It didn't. You need a 60% vote. Democrats had it. All the Republicans voted against it, so therefore you didn't have an ability. Which is actually funny because originally it was a 95% agreement in the Senate. 100% of Republicans and 5 Democrats didn't like the bill because they believed that the bill was too strict.
So that's the reason it didn't pass.
Well, it didn't pass because Donald Trump called the Senate Republicans and told them not to vote yes on the bill because he needed to be able to vote on it.
5 of the Democrats didn't vote for it.
If 100% of the Republicans vote for it and all but 5 of the Democrats vote for it, how many votes is that?
It's insane.
Well, no, I understand that, but I mean, you said it needs a 60%. So
Even if all the Democrats voted for it without the Republicans, who again were the ones who wrote the bill. Republicans wrote the bill. The same Republicans who wrote the bill voted against the bill.
6 or 7 more of those Democrats would have made it work?
What?
Yeah,
Sir, we can get into the dynamics of the Senate all you want, okay? What I am saying is, yes, we have an immigration problem. We've had an immigration problem for a long time, and under the Biden administration, due to things like COVID and the destabilization of the Northern Triangle, we saw a huge influx of immigrants at the southern border due to those things. Okay? I agree with that. Okay? I agree that we needed a fix to it. I agree that we needed better immigration policy. We all agree on that. Okay? Nobody disagrees with that. The only difference is that Biden tried to fix it. Okay? And Trump stopped him, except for some reason, y'all blame Biden because he was stopped by Trump, but don't blame Trump for stopping him. That is my issue. Okay? That is my issue. If Donald Trump really cared about immigration, then he would have allowed the immigration bill to go through. Okay? But
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not extremely familiar with the details of what was in that bill. But I will say I do agree that our system right now is very much our country as a whole is very divided on playing games in politics when we need to be worried about the future of our country in the next 20 years because we do not have a national identity. we constantly are arguing with each other. And I do feel that what we're doing, I'm sorry, talking over each other, it's hard. Like, we have to, kind of get in the zone. I feel like now we can kind of have more of a civil conversation about it. But I do agree that there are a lot of games going on in Washington, D.C.
Well, you want to talk about games? Biden got up on stage and asked Donald Trump he asked him, I don't know why you stopped this immigration bill. This immigration bill is actually good for our country. And if you have a problem with the bill, I will allow you to come to the White House and help us rewrite that bill to make sure that it can pass, because immigration policy is important for America. Then Joe Biden said this, and for all of Joe Biden's faults, I give him mad credit for this. He said, Donald Trump, if you won't come to the White House and help me work on immigration, I will come to wherever you are. That way we can come to an agreement on immigration policy in order to fix this immigration problem. Biden said that
and I mean,
on
and
national television.
What I would say is, like, while all of this is going on, you also have Trump being, like, federally prosecuted for, by Biden's DOJ. So, like, the kind of double face kind of standard there doesn't really like
Sir,
you know what I mean?
The state of New York is not Biden's DOJ. The state of Florida is not
they
Biden's
appointed
DOJ.
appointed a special prosecutor for the case.
What's the point of a special prosecutor?
I mean, you can tell me that. Why don't you go ahead and tell me
the
that?
whole point of a special prosecutor is if you think there could be a conflict of interest, you put a special prosecutor in there to make sure that there is no conflict of interest.
Well, I mean, look, we don't have to get into the details of the case, but, like, while he's getting, like, so like you're using an example of, like, Biden being like this, wise figure that's, like, sitting in front of Congress.
Oh no, but Biden did a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Baiting him.
But
I agree. So
Biden
like,
did a whole bunch of dumb shit. But that wasn't one of them. But that wasn't one of them.
But do you actually think that was a genuine attempt?
Sir, they
by
tried
Biden
to prosecute him for this while he was president last time. They tried to prosecute him for this. Sir, they tried to prosecute him for these things while he was president the first time. How did Biden...
Who is they?
The DOJ.
DOJ?
The Department of Justice for the state of New York and the state of
the
Florida.
Department of Justice is
tried to prosecute him for these things while he was president last time. Okay, they actually had to come out with a rule that says you can't prosecute a sitting president. And so they had to wait until after he was president in order to prosecute him on these things. So, of course, the next person that was president would be where he got prosecuted under him. Like that's all it was. The investigation started while he was still president because they knew he did all this shit.
What shit did he do?
On which one? The one he got convicted of? The one he got civilly prosecuted for? The one where he tried to hire...
He's gone to jail for all... So, like, what's the deal here? Like, why would half the country vote for this guy? Why would he have an overwhelming majority of people voting for him across the country if this guy was the monster that you make him out to be? No, explain that to me, because
Well, first of all, it wasn't an overwhelming majority. Well, first of all, it wasn't an overwhelming majority. He won by like 1.2%.
I would say he really stomped Kamala. I mean, I think most people would agree with that.
It was 1.2% of U.S. voters.
I don't go by popular vote because we aren't a democracy.
Well, then, sir, you said the overwhelming amount of Americans.
Yeah.
When we say overwhelming amount of Americans, we're talking about popular vote.
I'm not speaking about popular vote. I'm talking about.
Well, then you don't mean the overwhelming amount of Americans, because people can win electoral college and actually have less Americans that support them than Americans that support them.
So if you're gonna nitpick everything, like every single thing I say,
words
it's kind
just
of
have
hard
meanings.
to kind of have a discussion, because like what you're doing is like you're picking at what I'm saying when you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean, because words have meaning.
No, you do.
No, I don't.
I mean, I think Donald Trump had a mandate when he got voted in. I mean, would you not agree with that?
Sir,
do you not think he's mandated by this country to fix, like, obviously the state of this country?
He's not fixing anything.
We're doing better.
No, we're not. We're doing worse about pretty much every metric. What would name one metric besides immigration, which again, the only reason he even got to even fix immigration was because he caused it. Okay.
He caused the immigration?
Yes, because we would have fixed immigration in 2023 had he not stopped it. So the only reason we were still in an immigration problem when he got into office is because he caused that. It caused us to not fix it 2 years ago. So please name one metric besides immigration.
Don't use the bill as this scapegoat. The reason we have immigration is because we are importing a population because our
one metric besides immigration that Donald Trump is doing well on.
No, I'm going to stick on this because you're using...
Because you can't name another one. That's why. Because you can't name a singular metric outside of immigration that you can actually name that Donald Trump is doing well on, right? And Donald Trump knew that. That's the funny thing about it is Donald Trump knew that. He knew he couldn't win on anything but immigration, which is why he stopped the immigration bill, because he had to have immigration to run on because the rest of his policies suck.
The rest of his, then why is the S&P 500 up 9.2%?
Why was it up record numbers under the Biden administration? Does that mean the Biden was amazing?
It's insane.
No, but our economy is good. Like, what are you talking about?
The S&P had record rises under Biden's administration.
No, the record. I mean, we're stopping wars across the world. People actually respect us for one.
Respect us? That's just a fucking joke. But regardless of any of that, fucking the S&P 500...
No one respects a country with a president who's senile.
Exactly why the countries don't respect us right now.
Our president is 100% senile. He
right.
actually can speak.
No, did you watch the UN Council meeting yesterday?
Who cares about the UN? Why are we even in the... This is
sir, you just said...
At least he's in public.
Sir, you said... Sir, no, stop trying to move the goalpost. You said other countries respect us, and that's why he's there. And his literal speech at the UN was the ramblings of an old, senile man. That is what
There's no way you're comparing Donald Trump to Biden right now.
Oh, no. Donald Trump is much worse than Biden.
Way.
Donald Trump is much worse than Biden.
There's no way you have a guy who got put on national TV and embarrassed.
Yes, it was Donald Trump.
He couldn't even speak.
It was Donald Trump.
He couldn't even
yesterday.
Speak. He was drugged, and he still couldn't even speak.
This guy hasn't watched the speech yesterday. He hasn't watched it. He thinks that he's winning this because he hasn't watched the speech yesterday.
I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to have a conversation.
No, you're not. You're trying to literally compare a speech that you saw to a speech that you didn't.
I don't need to watch a speech at the UN at the General Assembly.
Donald Trump
why would I
got
need
up and rambled for an hour like a senile old man, complaining about teleprompters and escalators. Look at the respect that you think these other...
got stopped. No, I'm sorry. His escalator got stopped in the middle of a public building.
Wow. Then we should talk about it. When the president of the United States has a chance to address other countries, we should talk about the escalator.
The UN, dude, he doesn't give a this is the problem, is that you think that Trump is this politician.
It's funny.
He's not. He's there to make the country better.
It's funny how
this idea that he has to be this proper. He wipes his ass with the UN.
It's funny how he just went from other countries respect us to he wipes his ass with other countries.
Yeah, they respect us because we don't give. We're not focused on if I don't know, that Ukraine is surviving or not, or if
really because Donald Trump
to get us out of
Donald Trump literally came out this week and said that Ukraine should win the war. That NATO and UN and us NATO and us should do whatever we can to have NATO win the war, and that they should be able to take back all of their territory. Donald Trump said that this week.
Sure, yeah, because he's got Putin by his nuts. He does whatever he wants.
Oh, gotcha. So we shouldn't care about whether Ukraine is safe or not, though Donald Trump cares about Ukraine is safe or not. And so now that I inform you of that, you now care about Ukraine's safety. Got it.
No, I don't care about Ukraine's safety.
But Donald Trump does.
Trump is literally playing you don't realize he's playing 4D chess with these countries. These are pawns for
Donald
him.
Trump isn't playing fucking checkers on easy mode.
Well, that was cute. That was a good one. I like that one.
Donald Trump isn't playing checkers on easy mode.
Dude, okay? Be honest.
Donald Trump
really think Putin would have invaded Ukraine under Trump?
Absolutely not.
Really? Be totally for real. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He wouldn't have. Yeah, because he knows not to fuck with us.
No, that's not the reason at all.
Have a president.
That's not the reason at all.
What's the reason?
The reason is because Donald Trump was so fucking weak, because he was trying to pull us out of fucking NATO, because Donald Trump was doing literally everything that Putin wanted, because Donald Trump was
he trying to pull
because
us out of
Donald
NATO?
Trump,
Because
sir,
NATO
I'm still
wasn't
talking.
NATO,
Because Donald
NATO
Trump,
was not
because Donald Trump was literally doing everything that Putin wanted him to, just like he did when he left fucking Alaska just recently, and Donald Trump literally came out on stage and started repeating fucking Russian propaganda fucking lies on stage. Putin had Donald Trump eating out of his fucking hand.
What lies?
Oh, he came out talking about how the things that freaking Ukraine is doing, freaking that were against the war, saying that we didn't need a ceasefire, saying that freaking Russia was right, that Russia should be able to hold Ukrainian territory. He was saying all sorts of crazy shit. Literally had Trump eating out of his fucking hands.
So I would ask you one question, like, why is Russia our enemy? Would be my question to you.
It's
Just
not whether
explain that
Russia
to me.
is our enemy.
No,
okay?
no. Can you explain?
Sure,
it?
because they've
you're
threatened
talking about Putin,
because they've threatened the United States with war over 20 times
why
over the
do they
last 3
threaten
decades.
the United States with war?
Because they don't like us very much, and they've been very clear about it. They don't like us. They don't even like us
Why
right
don't
fucking
they
now.
like us?
They don't even like us right fucking now, because you know that Vladimir Putin, because countries respect us so much, he is literally on Russian propaganda TV spreading around nudes of Melania.
Why don't you think?
Why won't you address the respect thing on that? Just out of curiosity.
Because we don't concern. No. Wait, no, don't derail me.
Oh, okay.
Why doesn't Russia like us? Explain it.
Because at the end of World
explain
War II, they thought that we fucked them over. Then we fought an entire Cold War over it, which was like a really big problem. Then we helped to contribute to the fall of the Soviet Union, which freaking Vladimir Putin calls the word. No, you wanted the answer. You wanted the answer. Now you get the whole answer. Then we helped contribute to the fall of the Soviet Union and actually encouraged it for the fall of the USSR, which Vladimir Putin has called literally the worst thing that has ever happened in the entire history of Russia.
Okay.
To name a few reasons,
Is
but
that
I can't.
it? Oh, that's
I can't
it.
give.
It's funny. You stop right when the USSR falls. So
you do realize that the USSR falling
made,
is the main reason why Putin doesn't like us, right?
No, because multiple times, and so this is funny that you would stop there, because there's actually so much after 1990 that
there's
we
so
can
much
get
before
into
it
about
too.
the multiple attempts. No, but just wait. There's multiple attempts that Russia makes to try to join NATO. We deny them, and then we start slowly but surely encroaching.
We deny them. Sorry. Who's we?
NATO. Sorry, NATO starts.
Gotcha. And why did we deny them?
Why would we deny them? Explain that.
Yeah, because they don't fit the qualifications under the Articles of NATO. It's the same reason that we actually denied Ukraine.
And you don't think that the United States can make a change to allow them to...
it's also the same reason that we denied Ukraine up until recently, because they didn't fit the qualifications under the Articles of NATO.
And then what did we do? We send Kamala Harris to the Munich Security Conference to then say, "Hey guys, let's add Ukraine. Come on."
Actually, by the time Kamala Harris was sent, they had already met the qualifications for NATO and had already applied.
So then why are we saying we want them in? We are literally playing at...
We actually are not currently saying that we want them in.
Well, because Trump is president.
No, we didn't say we wanted them into the Biden administration either.
So then why did we send Kamala Harris to the Munich Security Conference?
Because they're still our ally.
But Russia's not our enemy. Is this the thing that I'm trying to get you to understand?
Regardless of Russia being our enemy or not, Ukraine's still our ally.
But why are they trying to? But we don't need to allow them into NATO.
Sir, we don't allow people into NATO. It's voted on by NATO countries. We don't allow people into NATO.
Don't be so like.
No, don't be so nationalist.
You're acting as if any other country.
Don't be so nationalist.
You're acting as if any other country has as much pull as we do.
Actually,
Trump literally got NATO allies to actually pay up and actually pay what they were supposed to pay.
Way to move the goalpost again.
I'm not moving the goalpost.
You are moving the goalpost because now you're going into NATO funding instead of talking about Ukraine.
No, but my point was that you're acting as if like we are the number one power in NATO. So you're acting as if like, oh, like we can't get NATO to like it really does fall on us. I'm sorry. Like
it does not fall on us. There is a reason the NATO agreement was specifically written to where it doesn't fall on us. Actually, It's actually
And you don't think that we
specifically
can
written that way.
sway- oh,
so,
you don't think we
so
have enough
I'll show you the
sway
difference.
over
Do you,
other
you
countries?
understand the difference between our voting power in NATO and our voting power in the UN?
That doesn't matter.
Sir, it's a yes or no question. Do you understand, sir? I asked you a question. Do you understand the difference in the United States voting power in between NATO and the UN? Yes or no?
Explain it to me, please.
Yes or no answer.
I want you to explain it.
Sir, I will explain it once you answer yes or no.
Somewhat.
All right. Well, what do you know?
I do know that in the UN we can veto a vote.
Correct.
I think.
There you go. Good job. We have veto power. We're one of 5 countries that have veto power in the UN. Right?
Okay.
Do we have veto power in NATO?
I'm going to assume not.
We don't have veto power in NATO. Why is that?
Because it's supposed to give every other country the opportunity to, have a say in the alliance.
There you go. So when we accept countries into NATO, when we actually allow countries into NATO, it is not the U.S. saying that that a country joins NATO. It is all the countries that vote on acceptance in order to do that. And that is very, very nationalist and honestly kind of narcissistic that you would think that the United States has the ability to do that.
Like, okay, so what's wrong? Like, so you call me a nationalist. So like, I don't understand with this idea that like you're trying to nitpick the fact that we don't have veto power in NATO, when in reality, like if something as big like this came across the table, it would be extremely easy for a president like Donald Trump, because you would need someone like that, to go to every country in NATO and basically start, I don't know, playing his cards like an actual president
What
does. So
cards?
that was my point. I don't know, economic sanctions. I don't know.
You think that we would
fines.
economically sanction NATO allies if they didn't let a country into NATO?
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's
if we wanted
illegal
to.
and against the NATO Charter and against like pretty much every international law.
And
And,
then what
it
are
would
they gonna do,
absolutely
arrest our
destroy
president?
the United
And
States.
they're going to arrest
Yeah.
our president? Really?
No, they
would
wouldn't
arrest our
us.
president.
The negatives would
Oh,
be
so
much
then
more.
what are they
The
gonna
negatives
do?
would be.
What are they gonna do?
Sir, the negatives would be so much worse than that. What are you talking about?
No, they're puppets. Like, you don't understand that Europe is our puppet. Like, I don't think you're understanding
Europe is
this
not
right now.
our puppet. Again, you are super
really
nationalist
is.
nationalist and narcissistic for literally no reason.
What's wrong with nationalism?
What is
Explain that
nationalism?
to
Let's
me,
ask
please.
that. Why don't you ask that? What is
Oh,
nationalism?
it's a strong, having actual, love for your country, actually caring about what happens to people that are here instead
That's
of,
actually not
worrying
nationalism,
about.
no.
So then what is nationalism?
That what
Please
you're
tell me.
describing is actually patriotism. Okay?
Oh, so then
Loving your
what is
country, loving your country is patriotism. Okay? That's fine. I have no problem with patriotism. I love my country. Okay?
Okay, so why do you call me a
what
nationalist
you're
then?
describing is nationalism. That is saying that my country is better than yours. Okay, and that for some reason we are better and stronger than you and deserve better things than you, or are owed something more to you just because of the country that we come from. That is what you're saying. You think that for some reason,
the
sir,
United
I'm
States
still talking. So
isn't
you
the best country
believe
in
the
the world?
United States deserves some type of freaking like overwhelming power over NATO, and a treaty that wasn't even built to protect us, that was built to protect other countries, and literally freaking is mostly European countries, right? Which would be accepting other European countries into it. You think for some reason the United States is owed some type of special powers in that, and we're not. Okay, and if Donald Trump tried to exude,
by putting the world at risk,
if Donald,
then yeah, I think that we are owed that right.
If Donald Trump tried to exude powers, then which he does not have, that is not good for us. Is not good for the world. Is not good for our alliances. Is not good for
How
our
is that not good
It's not
for the
good for
world
our
if what
economy.
you're
It's not good
doing
for our
is-
national security. It's not good for anything.
So how? Okay, you say it's not good for the world. How is it preventing a country that would, by doing so, cause a global scale conflict? Because by accepting NATO, you were accepting the fact that that will piss Russia off, and you were literally asking
Why would it piss
for World
Russia
War
off?
III. I don't know, because you're taking a side. Isn't that how
Because you're
how
taking a
all world
side,
wars
sir.
start?
Ukraine's in conflict right now. We're not even allowed under the Articles of NATO to accept him. I meant prior to the conflict.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right now we're not allowed to accept Ukraine into NATO because again, that's against
Okay.
the Articles of NATO. I'm talking
Sure.
about prior to the conflict.
Why is that dangerous to prevent
Why do we
I
care if
don't
it
understand.
pisses Russia off, and how does it piss Russia off to put?
I don't know, because they have nukes. Is that enough?
No.
That's not enough.
Why would
You
it piss
just-
Russia
you
off?
just- Because we are getting involved in a war that is
Sir,
so
before
far away from us.
the war started.
The war start. Yeah, sure. That's not our problem. That's their problem.
Gotcha. So
They're not a
absolutely
NATO
no
ally.
issue.
You've been
So,
saying this whole
sir,
time they're not. So
sir,
why
sir,
are we?
Sir, use your listening ears, okay? Use your listening ears. Why would it piss off Russia if we were to accept Ukraine into NATO before 2022?
Because they've set a hard line since I don't
What
know
hard
how
line?
long. I don't know. Niet means niet. Does that
That
bring
just
up
means
anything
no means
to
no.
you?
That means absolutely fucking nothing. What line?
Yeah, the red line that they drew, that they said if you guys keep coming, we're gonna start getting pissed off because you were encroaching.
If you guys
like,
keep
you were,
coming,
you
we're
were
going to
moving-
get pissed off is literally the exact opposite of a red line.
How is that the opposite?
A red line is if you cross this line, there will be consequences.
Sorry, not red. I don't know. Stop moving your alliance closer and closer to our border while you. I mean, like,
How many NATO countries
you're
already
not-
sit at the Russian border?
enough to piss them off?
Oh, gotcha. So when all those other countries did it, it's all good. No
You're
need to start
drawing-
war.
do you not
so maybe
realize
we
you're
shouldn't have
drawing a
accepted those
line?
amount of wars that the amount of countries that you don't even know about first, right?
I mean, sure. Like, why are we pushing Why are we pushing an alliance closer
We're
and closer to their border? I mean, we're
not.
Sorry,
We're
NATO is
because
oh
NATO
my gosh,
is
you
allowed
with
to
your-
because NATO
you-
is
because you
an
refuse to
organization
accept
that
we're
is
the best
allowed to
country in the
accept people
world, and
into
so you're
it.
scared
Because
to say we're and that we have control over
because we
NATO. 'cause
don't,
we
sir.
do.
That is just an inflated sense of self. That is all you have.
It's not an inflated sense of self.
It
We're
is.
actually part of the greatest country in the world, and to not
How?
use that, you know.
How are we the greatest country in the world?
I mean, we are. Like,
How
do I
are we
really need-
the?
Aren't you an
how
American?
are we?
Do you not care
I am
about
very
this
much an
country?
American. How are we the greatest
So then
country in the
why-
world?
Oh, I don't know. Why are there millions of people?
Sir, I
literally
didn't ask
flocking to
you
our
any of
country?
that shit. How are we the greatest country in the world? This is not a difficult question. It's not a trick question. I'm not trying to get your nuance on it. I'm asking you to actually think critically and tell me how we are the greatest country in the world.
I don't know. Our military. I mean, our historical prowess. I mean, the fact that we won World War II. I mean, the fact that millions of immigrants want to come to this country, that people would literally
Yeah.
die.
Millions of immigrants want to come to multiple other countries. There was a ton of countries involved in World War II. And if you want to talk about historical prowess, we're about one of the newest countries on the fucking planet. So we are probably about last place in that.
Yeah, and look at how much we've done. Like, you see, this is the issue: is that you're literally nitpicking and so sadistic about.
I did not
our
nitpicking,
country.
sir. I'm literally just addressing the things that you said.
No, this is what you do. Like, you don't love your
Gotcha.
country, and that's
so,
okay.
No,
like, you
I
have to
actually
find ways.
do love my country. I actually do
No,
love
you
my
don't.
country. Oh, I love my country way more than you do. I love my
not
country
true
way
at
more
all,
than you. No,
actually.
it's actually so fucking true. Okay, I love
Why is
my
that?
country so much that I'm willing to be critical of it. Okay, that I refuse to be a pawn. Okay, and to just accept that we are the greatest at everything because that doesn't allow anything for improvement. Okay, I understand that we are one of the worst industrialized countries on this planet when it comes to healthcare. I understand that we don't rank in the top fucking 20 of like any sector of education in the entire fucking world. I also understand that we spend more on our military than the next 8 countries combined. Okay. And if we were to actually take some of that money and actually put it towards actual Americans and actual American business and actual economy, we would be a lot better off. I understand our country because I decided to learn about our country because I actually love our country and I want to make our country better. Your stance does not allow our country to be better at all because you apparently think with absolutely no evidence whatsoever and without any type of critical thinking that we are somehow the best country on the planet when you haven't even sat back to think about how we are that. I love my country. You're a sheep.
Okay, good. Okay, good boy. Chill out. Trump is the LeBron of the world and king. Haha, 6'7". Peace.
guess he didn't like that answer. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I don't like to do like wins and losses. I really do like to just have open conversation. Okay, like truly. I like to just have open conversation. I don't like to be like win-loss in this thing, but man, that felt like one. That did feel like one. I'm just saying, it did feel like one. I'm just saying, okay? I'm going to run through a few super chats real quick. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, let's go. Oh my God, I already did that. James, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, nice work, Polly. Damn, it's about time someone with common sense and actual facts-based knowledge. Thank you so much, James. I really appreciate that super chat so much. Rob, thank you so much. Says, trickle-down economics in one breath. Give me the money at the top and I hope their kindness of heart drips few pennies down. History keeps proving it's not a growth plan, it's a wealth gap machine. Yes, let's hope and pray that the people that spent their entire life just aiming for money don't just want money. Let's just hope that happens. Thank you so much, Rob. Megan, you've been blessed with a Megan Ray. L's in the chat for Megan. I really appreciate that. James also said, nice work, Polly. Damn, it's about time. Oh, I already read this one. My bad. I'm sorry. That one repeated. Big J Norris with the 3,200 joules and then the 3,800 joules, then the 3,200 joules. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And the 3,800 again. Thank you so much, Big J. I really, really appreciate that. Rob, thank you so much for the $5. Says, I work for a large city and they're already preparing for an economic downturn. Something is coming.
Insane.
100%. Thank you so much, Rob. Oh my God, with the jewels again. And Big J Norris with the $50 super chat. Can we get big W's in chat for Big J Norris for the $50 super chat? Oh my God, that is absolutely huge over here. Big J Norris coming in big over here. Gosh, I'm seeing all those jewels come through too. I really, really appreciate that. Big J came back again, said, stop wasting time. Let's talk unblock calls. Hey guys, I'm not blocking calls. If I'm on the phone with somebody, then that's all I got. Okay. It's just me in here. I don't have people to answer the phone. All right. But thanks a lot, Big J. I really, really appreciate the two $50 super chats. Again, big W's for Big J in there. Snowy Weave says, with the 20 Canadian over there, says trans rights are human rights. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that one. Just a Ghostwriter, thank you so much for the jewels. Shay, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. I really appreciate that. Venus, I did just see that super fan. I really appreciate that one also. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm trying to get down all the jewels. I'm not complaining. Thank you guys so much. Jay Lee says full support in public health, public education, public transportation. That would really help us be a better nation. Amen to that, Jay. Big W for that on Jay. That would actually make us a better nation for sure. And Jen says, I'm so sick of these dorks talking about Trump playing 5D chess. Trump doesn't even know what 5D anything is. I'm not sure he knows what 3D anything is, Jen. I'm really not sure about that. That's really up for grabs. All right, y'all. Guys, I do have to get off of live. I've been on for like 2.5 hours. I was actually supposed to have a short live today. So I am going to be done for the night. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. I may not be...
Insane!
I probably won't be on tomorrow. If I am, it's going to be super early for a short live. Like really, really early. I'm talking like 2-3 o'clock, so that'll be what it is. But
insane.
Most likely I will not be on tomorrow, and I'll be on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central. I will see you guys there. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything, for the support, for the love. I will see you guys soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. All right. Love you guys. Bye.